a little bit, what's the word? Unfair, I think. They're being a little bit unfair to your mother. So I think what they should have done was probably...
I guess we'll wait for shade
before we start
going.
the money to? I actually don't know the answer to this. Should they have given it to the mother who actually paid the money for all these years? Or should they give it to OP who was owed this money from the father? I actually
Jesus Christ, guys, this is...
People of YouTube, please let me know what you think down in the comments. Who should get the money from the grandparents? The mother or OP? I think honestly, since they're so incredibly rich, what they should have done was give money to both of you, right? But if it had to be one, which should it be?
How do you get this rid of the fucking...
Easy 0 out of 5 buttholes. You did nothing wrong.
Are you watching everything we're doing right now?
Basically. They're trying to rectify their son's mistake. Your father,
okay, everybody follow me, right?
4.5 out of 5
Everyone cuddle up.
This
I
guy
mean, not cuddle up.
his wife and child, and then complained that he had to pay them even though he has a new
Hey.
which is just selfish
come on.
BS. Am I the butthole for crying at dinner on purpose to embarrass my dad and brother? I know the title sounds ridiculous, but there's context. I'm currently in high school and I live with my dad and my brother.
Alright, we're gonna do it right here.
My mom's not in the picture anymore. While I'm not very close with my father, he's not a bad dad. He's just a little old-fashioned, so he's closer to my brother. They have the same hobbies. On to the problem.
Follow me, and then immediately this way.
But for the past couple of months, both my dad and my brother will start teasing me about that time of the month anytime I even get remotely irritated or upset.
Everybody come here.
For example, my
Get
brother
there.
ate a snack of mine that I was saving, and when I got mad,
Oh, that was close, I gotta say.
again, in a super annoying
Immediately this way, boys, through here, and then straight up. Shade, literally no joke, dude. We've had to go through tunnels worth of fucking shit underwater, and we have to share this one bottle there.
They just brush it off even more and chalk it up to my period, no matter what time of the month it is. Well, yesterday, we had dinner with my whole family on my dad's side for my aunt's birthday.
How do I fucking...
This time, you want to just follow me?
Go get the through. Just said, it's that time of the month again.
I'm trying to figure out how do I fucking get rid of the fucking border, but I don't know.
The what?
The border. Yeah, there's voice lines.
Alright, come on, boys.
Shit, how do you get rid of the border?
But I had enough and just started bawling.
The border.
Kind of went ham on purpose.
Stream or something?
Yeah.
We have no power, fuck, boys, go back.
Why I was so upset. And when he didn't know, I told my aunt. It's just lady reasons, according to my dad and brother.
Oh, comment.
My aunt and grandma were pissed at my dad and brother, and they totally got reamed at the dinner table. It was this whole thing, and I could tell that they were super embarrassed. Later that night, my brother and dad said that I was the butthole for causing a scene and embarrassing them. But I said that I was just acting like the way that they always say that I do. I guess I didn't have to do it during dinner, but it wasn't like I planned it. Alright, let's be super clear, OP. Your brother and your father are systematically
I think that's it. Yeah, there we go.
embarrassing you every
come back
chance
up,
they
come back
get.
up.
Your brother literally
We have to have a meeting, boys.
Okay, we're meeting?
There is a door that opens by a button.
OP, I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving the men in your family 2 out of 5 buttholes. Especially like,
Yeah, I think you want to go into your advanced settings and go to...
Yeah, it's advanced settings.
$800 nowadays.
Yeah, you want to go to display messages to spectators and spectator comments. I think if you don't have it checked, it makes it so it's full screen, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I just found it.
Follow me, boys, I'll show you. Okay, once we turn on that generator,
Mm-hmm.
there's a button in here. When we press this button, it opens the door right on the other side of this glass.
Mm-hmm.
So, Corey, I might need Angel to follow me because I might need him.
No, go.
Go open the generator. Turn the generator on and go press the button.
Where's the generator?
Right there.
Right here? Oh.
I currently serve as its first lieutenant.
Alright, turn that on, then go press the button.
Is deputy chief. This is something I've been working towards for years. Years of training and experience brought me to the point where I was eligible for this rank.
Angel, come on.
Not only that, but I'm also coming up to a military review board hearing where my community service is going to be a factor, and if I'm approved in upgrading my status and being eligible for ROTC and re-entering the military, holding the rank of deputy chief would certainly be a plus to this board.
Corey, go to the door.
The current chief and deputy chief happen to be married. This past year, the deputy
There's no
chief
power.
had
Go
back
turn on the generator.
surgery. It's been discussed that due to this, she probably shouldn't continue on in her position.
So this doesn't turn on, huh?
It's on. Me to take her place.
Alright, go to the door.
If she doesn't run, I'm literally the only other person qualified to hold that position, apart from the chief. Her and I have discussed this at length, and she's very aware of how important this is to me. Finally, we come to the elections, and I suppose you can guess where this is going. After almost a year of planning, discussing, and promising, she's nominated by her husband, accepts the nomination, and is elected.
Hey, Corey!
She beat me by only a few votes.
You don't just run in places, bro!
The chief and deputy chief wouldn't even look at me. They had screwed me. I was going to get them back. So, I started looking for drugs. After about a month, I found my smoking gun. I'll save you the long, boring story of how I came to find this information, but I believe that I looked through a great many call reports and talked to the right people. Remember when I mentioned the deputy chief had surgery? Well, she was on disability from her paid job at the telecom company for several months. Also, since she was collecting disability care, she couldn't ride the spot. Well, I found reports where her name was present, over and over. But the strange thing was, some reports had her signature as I
There's a good gun with a grenade launcher and everything.
They were clearly forged. Where I live, in order for an ambulance call to be billable to insurance, the ambulance needs to be staffed by 2 EMTs. You can still roll an ambulance without 2 EMTs, you just can't bill insurance for it. I investigated this, and I learned the chief had been signing his wife's signature on calls that he took with only 1 EMT. That way, it appeared that 2 had been there. However, the dates coincided with when she was still in recovery, physically unable to be there. Additionally, I learned that while she was still recovering, she did take a number of calls while still collecting disability from her desk job at the telecom company.
Holy, watch this hallway. Watch that hallway. I'll get the door.
By forging her signature,
or just ignore everything I just said.
Disability fraud. There was evidence for days. I had an idea.
I'll go by this. A fucking joke.
I met with the department attorney and presented my evidence. Together, we contacted the state we contacted our company, and we contacted the deputy chief's employer, the telecom company. Both the chief and the deputy chief's EMT certifications have been suspended pending outcome to the DOH's investigation.
Actually,
I'm told that
Angel, do you want them to
both of them will have their certifications revoked. The deputy chief has been terminated from her job for defrauding the company on disability. The deputy chief has to pay back every single time that she collects disability. This has also resulted in my promotion to acting chief until a special election next month. And during that election, I'm the only one qualified to be chief. The dominoes are still falling, and we're both looking at criminal charges. The fraud amounted to over $40,000
there's a riot shield here. I'm taking that.
to insurance companies. Her disability paid her over $60,000. I do feel a little bit bad, but at the end of the day, no one forced him to commit fraud.
Well, I mean, he can hear you in the part, I remember.
We need a key for this thing right here.
They didn't offer any explanation, and afterwards, we really stopped talking to them after the election, and they didn't reach out. We were actually pretty friendly too. They would just call me to shoot the breeze, grab dinner,
look how
whatever.
creepy this is.
Then, nothing. I don't know what they were looking to gain by it. She
like
was
you're literally going to
physically
the depths
unable
of
to do
hell.
the job.
Oh my god, let Shade look at that.
They were livid when they found out that they were getting fired.
Yeah, I see it.
They tried claiming that we didn't have enough evidence, that they'd been selflessly serving for years, that they couldn't do this to them. It might have been denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Okay, I think I have a sense for what's going on here. These people have like a hero complex where they see themselves as the good guys. So
Intel.
if they like skim a little off the top and give themselves a little bit of extra money, it's okay because they save lives, so they deserve it, right?
Why'd you go back all the way backwards?
From Texas Kate. Backstory. Before I met my now husband, he was married and divorced. We'll call my husband Harry and his ex-wife Dana. Theirs was not a marriage of love, but a marriage of financial benefit.
I don't want to jump down.
He was 19 and she was a little older. He was in college, but she couldn't afford to go.
There's doors here.
Let's wait for Angel.
Loans to afford college.
Yo, Shade, look at this.
Were dead broke. her estranged father made too much money to qualify. So they got married. That way, the powers that be...
Dude, we're fucking playing a raid. This is awesome. Fun. I'm not gonna lie. I'm enjoying this a lot.
He worked in commercial real estate and went to school part-time. With his income and both
this is only episode 1.
She was able
the fuck is that?
full-time, and they graduated at the same time. They saved
I don't really want to find out, to be honest.
College. And although they didn't really love each other, they did like each other. Harry started making a decent living and learned to appreciate the finer things in life. His upwardly mobile career allowed them to buy and sell their first house, and then buy a second, nicer home.
Yo,
Angel, both of them brand
look
new
this
cars.
way. Shade, look at that.
In the year 2000, my husband started to feel like their time together had passed its prime, and she agreed.
Dude, this is a
they
dope
started
ass
the divorce
fucking.
process.
I love this.
And
This is
since
fun.
her job didn't pay her that much, he decided to give her one,
boys,
all the furnishings in her home,
there's an
which
elevator.
he had paid for.
We can't go through it,
Two,
though.
an agreement to finish out the remaining months on her very
I think
nice
that's the correct
SUV
way, so
lease.
let's go this way.
Three,
I want to see if I can tell.
not inconsequential savings and retirement accounts, which was 100% funded by him. She had always spent all of her money on shoes and clothes, and she never opened or contributed to a savings account.
Let's go back the other way, because I guess this is the right way.
Considering our state wasn't forcing to pay alimony, only splitting up the assets, and he encouraged the marriage because of enough savings that he never commingled, and he could have kept.
Just broken
They
hole.
were amicably divorced 30 days later, and they were both dating their future spouses within a few months of that. My husband and I started dating in early 2001. Only about 2 to 3 months after the divorce was final. A year and a half after the divorce, I moved in with my husband, and she married her extremely well-off
Those were the
financial
passwords were,
boyfriend.
boys.
Dana screw up. A few months later, my husband wanted to make an upward job change that would significantly lower his income for a short time. $0 for at least 4 months, and then a slow but gradually increasing income, resulting in significantly lower income after about a year and a half of ramp up. My income could just barely cover all of our bills. My current income was perfect, but I didn't have enough to also cover his ex-wife's $500 a month car payment. He decided that since Dana was remarried, he shouldn't have to continue paying for that car, and he should be able to take the car back. That way, I could drive that car instead of buying a new car myself. He thought it was fair, and he read his divorce decree, so he felt that it was possible. We consulted a lawyer who agreed that asking for the car back was fair. And although it wasn't written into the divorce decree as alimony, it would likely be treated as such if they ended up going to court, so he had a good chance of winning. Harry called Dana to explain the situation. He asked her for the SUV back, but she said no and ended the conversation. He called her a week later and asked again, stating that if she still refuses, he'll take her to court. She said that she had spoken to her husband and they were not going to get the car back. As an alternative, Harry asked if they could take over paying all or at least some of the car payment because $100 a month would negatively impact his career advancements. They said they spoke to a lawyer and they really couldn't pay any of that car payments.
That we avoided, I think we have to go that way now.
Probably,
Unless
yeah.
one of these things are
so Harry went to the courthouse the next day and filed his complaint. A few days later, Dana called and said that she had been summoned by the court, and she and her husband wanted to come over and see if they could work something out without going to court. Great! We figured she had been seeing those $500 car payments were basically alimony, and she can't really have her ex-husband paying for her car now that she's remarried. She's seen the lights. But, of course, this is r/pro revenge, so we know better than that. The night she and her husband came over, their solution was not to give the car back. No, their solution was that my husband turn in the $500 per month vehicle, pay the earliest
kill him, y'all got a mobile,
shoot. 36-month lease on a cheaper car, say $250 a month. Considering there was almost 18 months left on his lease, this would actually cost him more money in the long run with that penalty, so this was a big no. She said, well, I talked to a lawyer, and he doesn't think that you have a snowball's chance in hell of winning in court. Harry said,
yeah,
okay, have a good
would make
night.
sense.
Bye, and out they went, feeling like they
yeah,
won.
there is 2 rooms. Hey guys, the fucking signature
came, and Harry showed up in court. Dana, nowhere to be seen. His case gets called up, and
well, now I have the
still
signature.
no Dana. The judge reads the complaint, listens to Harry's story, and makes I don't think my ruling would be any different had she showed up to court, but we'll never know. I hereby declare a default judgment in favor of the plaintiff. Once Harry received a printed copy of the judgment, he hatched his plan. First, he called Dee, told her that he wanted the case and asked for the keys. She said no and hung up. Second, he had the vehicle identification number and the car was his, so no problem there.
That's a big
Third,
boy.
he knew where she worked in her schedule. He ordered a tow truck and requested a sheriff's officer at 3:45 for the next afternoon at her work. D-Day, 3:45 the next day. 15 minutes before she finished work, he met up with the tow truck driver and the officer in the parking lot of her work. The officer verified the documents, and they located the truck onto the flatbed. They moved the truck to the curb right outside the doors to Dana's work. A little after 4 p.m., Dana walks out, sees the trio and her car in the truck, and freezes in her tracks. You can't do that! Harry hands her the official judgment, and the officer reiterates the court's judgments. But I talked to Joe, and he said that you don't have a snowball
Here we go.
of winning. Those were Joe's exact words. Snowballs, chance, and
the password's over here.
Harry thinks about it for a second, trying to figure out who
Angel,
Joe
stay
is.
here.
She had said
You're gonna stay right here, okay, Angel?
know who Joe is. He tried to remember if there was
this is where you need to put the password.
Joe, but he could only think of their mortgage broker, Joe. Like our mortgage broker, Joe?
Just wait there. Don't get on it in case you get shot at.
Yeah, he said that it wasn't written into the divorce
So,
decree.
Cora, we have to do this whole thing over again, but in different
because I got
spots.
married.
Oh, we got seconds to do it.
Oh, so we actually have to go fucking each area.
Corey, go wait at the other one.
Yep.
We're not getting this one this time. There's no way.
Thanked him for his time, said to the truck driver, "I'll meet you back at my house."
I know,
Said
you're gonna
goodbye
have to just
Dana
pay attention.
and walked away. Just when Harry neared his car, she screamed, "How am I supposed to get home?" He replied, "Call that pansy of a man you call a husband who was okay with his wife's ex-husband
are you there?
Yep.
Back to the house,
Fuck, we didn't do this efficiently, but we can post it for it.
Okay, now
Angel, get on the password thing.
That was the best thing I've ever been a part of on this
Corey,
job.
what do you have? What do you have?
the weird MW together and an H.
Within a week, and I took over payments for his
W
ex's
and
car.
nothing. Okay,
Their
gotcha.
divorce was no longer amicable, but
Hey,
we got
W
married,
was
had a
first.
kid, and lived happily ever after.
What's W?
Moral
9.
of the story: pay for your own
Put in a
stuff,
9.
and don't no-show if you've been summoned to court. Even if you think the plaintiff
3-9.
doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of
939.
winning. Yes, actually, if the plaintiff doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell of winning,
Do it.
honestly, Dana deserved that. Not showing up to court,
Fuck.
like, what did
It
you
was the
expect
other
to
one.
happen?
I just
Did
had
she
to make
think
a
that
quick
your husband
thing.
was gonna
Okay,
present
Corey,
her
stay there.
evidence and argue against his own case to be fair and balanced?
What do you have? What do you have? What do you have?
PWY.
I was a member
You
of
have a W?
PHA
Okay,
sorority in college
Angel,
at
stay
a
there.
large Midwestern university.
What's W?
My group of friends and I
3.
weren't exactly the sorority
Alright,
type, but we had a really great time hanging out. Sorority life was pretty boring for the most part, until my junior year when the executive board consisted of all the girls that didn't like my friends and I. They didn't like that we went to towny bars, they didn't like that we were a little grungy, and they thought that we were a bad reflection on the group, but whatever. That year, I was more in trouble with our sorority board than I'd ever been in my life. I was fine for wearing a denim jacket to the formal chapter under the no denim clothing rule that was
PWY.
girls from wearing jeans. I was fine
No,
for
the number
missing
for
a
W.
chapter meeting to
3.
go to the hospital with a friend.
Do
They
939.
claimed that I wasn't excused because I wasn't the one who
939.
was sick, even though I drove
You're not
her.
gonna do it
I
in
was
time.
fined for drinking at formal, which was later
Alright,
taken
what
back
symbols do
because
you
I
have?
was over 21.
B,
It became pretty
A,
clear that they were
and I
trying
want to say
wear
no.
us down and make life so miserable
Does it have a
that
line
we
going
would
through it?
quit.
Yes.
The final straw
Then don't say
came during our big
just say
charity event
0
for the
with a
year.
line through it.
It's an
Okay.
all-night
So
food event
you have
where we sell
B
tickets and serve
and a
food to
0
people on
line, right?
campus.
Mhm.
We held it
Both
at the
9s.
sorority house, and
Okay.
all the girls are required to work a 3-hour shift that evening. I went and did my shift early, along with all the girls on the board. The early slot is really sought after because you can still go out and party that night. I did my shift and left to go do karaoke with my friends. The next day, I get an email saying the board wants to see me. They call me in and claim that they're going to find me because they didn't see me working the event and that I skipped out. I tell them that I worked the first shift, and then my friend who did sign-ups can confirm that I signed in and worked the event. They claim that they don't trust my friend because they know that we're friends and they think she's covered.
Got an H and O, 0 with a line through it, and X.
Because they think that they'll lie for
H and
me.
X? Tell me what those are.
Well, it's like an H with an O inside.
Nope.
That's not it. What do you have?
For suspension for lying about my
just an X, an H
I get
and an O put together. What's the first?
The first one, it's a 9.
I'm in my apartment scrolling through Instagram when
well,
I see
that's the H.
has posted a photo
Never
from
mind.
the event where I'm
Forget about these. We have to start
in the background.
Hopefully it didn't take us to step 1.
I take a screenshot and send it to the president of our chapter to prove that I was there. I get nothing.
HWK.
Wait, what do you?
Until suddenly I get a text from our
what's your
president.
H and your W?
I'm expecting
H and W? 8.5.
Put in 8.5 now.
She had screenshotted my text and sent them back to me by mistake.
Fuck, okay, HW.
In it, she was trashing me to who I can only assume she thought was the other board members, calling me a B-word and saying that it didn't matter because
I'm down, guys.
something else. Well, I said nothing and took screenshots of the message and immediately emailed them to our national office. I included all the BS lines I'd been hit with over the semester. The photos proving I was at the event they claimed that I didn't attend, and the awful text that proved they'd been targeting me for months. I hear nothing
Corey,
further
come
from
to
our
me.
board about
Come
my
to
looming
us.
suspension. Our next chapter meeting rolled around, and our president and vice
Let's
president
get on the water.
were nowhere to be found. Our national office sent in a few representatives and told everyone they were conducting interviews into some allegations about bullying and targeted harassment. The investigation ended up revealing that our board had created a list of undesirables that they had targeted and wanted kicked out or forced to quit. They even had a group chat where they planned out how they were going to get us kicked out or make us so
Corey,
miserable that we
I
were
need
going
you
to
to
quit.
do the number
The shit hit the fan,
phone pad
and
thing, so
nearly
go to
our
that.
entire board got kicked out of the sorority. That was our /pro
Angel,
revenge.
follow
And if you
me.
like
I
this
need-
content, check out my
I need you
podcast
over
where I
here.
publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.
Shit. Oh my god.
Welcome to r/best of Redditor updates, where someone gets so angry they throw a chair through a window.
It's
The
gas.
next Reddit post comes from r/am I the butthole, and it's titled,
Alright, Angel,
Am
I need you to
the butthole
stay
walking out over a chair?
right here, okay? You see
hear
these
me
codes
out.
and all that?
For as long as I can remember in my
When
family,
the next one
almost
starts, I'm
any
gonna
time
need
that I
you
got up from my
to
seat,
stay alive
someone
and
would take
explain
it to either be
which ones you
funny
have,
or
okay?
claim it as if no one was using it. And as a teenager, it literally got to the point that I brought my own folding chair so I could pick it up and carry
Fuck,
it
I'm
with
out of
me.
ammo.
If I left my folding chair where it was,
I need to get a
someone
guy's
would take
gun.
it. Then they would get mad at me when I wanted it back. As an example, during a holiday last
God.
year, I got up from my chair for a moment to help with something, and I came back to find a kid in it.
There's no
Then
more
my
gas,
family
Angel. You don't
berated
have
me
to
for
save
wanting
water.
them to move. But I told them that when a man owns and brings his own chair, they expect to be able to use it. I own a very nice folding chair that's comfortable and easily
Hey,
portable.
Corey, I'm
And
in
What's
I
the
don't
HW?
bring it to any family event because people are always scrambling.
What's
for
the H and
chairs.
W?
Well, the other day I went to a birthday party for my nephew,
8.5.
and like
Okay.
always, I brought my own chair. But at some point, I had to use the bathroom. When I came back, my chair was missing, and everyone
Alright.
acted like they didn't know where it was. I said they had 1 minute to return it,
Well,
or I was
we're
leaving.
doing that one
They
now.
laughed at first, but then
Corey, you
realized
can give
I
me
was
out of the
serious,
pads. You
so
just
I started
tell me.
going for the
Don't
door.
tell me
Ow,
where
ow,
you're
ow.
Just
Ow,
calm down.
ow,
It was
ow.
just a joke. I said that I didn't care anything when I was taking the mud. I wouldn't be bringing my own chair all the time.
Just
if
pick up
other
one of their
people
guns if you don't
weren't
have
always
ammo.
taking my seat
Okay.
whenever I got up. I don't think that it's funny, and I never did. My brother-in-law then pulled the chair out of where he'd hidden it, and
we're gonna
when
wait
I
for the
got it
next one,
back,
boys.
one of the legs was bent. I said that it wasn't bent before, and how could he possibly have done this to a metal chair? He said that he could fix it and tried to unbend it, but only made it worse. The chair was pretty
Hey.
much unusable now because the leg
Hey,
was
didn't
warped,
restore yet.
and I don't want to risk putting weight on it.
Okay.
I told my brother-in-law that he owes me $50 for the chair because that's what I paid that dude 2 years ago. He got mad and kept saying that it was a stupid
okay,
chair.
Corey,
I said,
what do you
my stupid chair.
double W,
Wouldn't have happened. He wasn't so immature that he and everyone
W
was
and a
messing
C.
with me for years about what I said. Then
Alright,
I took my
Angel,
now
what's your B and
messed up
H?
chair and walked out. My family's been blowing my phone up, saying
Is
that
they-
it's just a chair and to let it
okay,
go.
is that
I
order?
still want my
BH?
brother-in-law to pay me back for it. Am I the butthole?
A5, Corey, what's the next one? A5, and
Oh.
I need
I
your,
sent a mass text out to
fuck,
my
I need your,
family
the fucking,
that I will not go to any
the
family
regular
function,
letter.
no matter how important it is, until they make this
The
right
one
by
that's right-
promising
the-
to
the-
not
Three-
go
three,
to
two-
me anymore,
uh.
and repay me for the chair. They've mostly gone quiet now, but I can wait. I've got all the time in the world for them to realize that I'm serious. And then OP posted another
fucking
update.
ridiculous.
I wasn't gonna come back here. To be honest, I'd completely forgotten that I made
Now my
this
camera's
account.
broken.
I
What the
only got
fuck?
back in because I'd written down the password and left it at my desk. I was listening to Reddit videos on YouTube a couple of weeks ago when I suddenly heard my old Am I the Butthole post. So I thought that I'd give an update. Well,
Why is
things
my camera
escalated a
broken?
lot after I made that post because I linked the post to my parents and other family members after a little while. They were furious with me at first. Some even mocked me, saying things like, "Oh, watch what you say or do around OP. He might just post about it on Reddit." But when they actually read the comments on my post when I made them, they became mortified. My brother-in-law did agree to pay for a new chair and gave me the money that I asked for. I bought a better folding chair than my last one and resumed going to family functions. But whenever I was there was this air about some of the other family members. They looked at me like I'd sucked all the fun out of the room. My parents had stopped thinking that the chair thing was funny, and even scolded a kid for taking my seat when I got up to use the bathroom.
Angel.
The only problem is that that kid was my nephew, and he
Shade, do
started
not speak, you
crying when
fucking
they made him get up. My brother-in-law came to the boys' rescue.
PCX,
and my
okay.
nephew ended
Corey,
up
what do you
blurting
have?
out that his dad-
W, and Y.
I need your E and Angel, I need your CX.
8.
Several family members,
8, what is it?
my sister and brother-in-law,
8, 5.
were all yelling that it was just
Ah.
a stupid chair, and I
Just
shouldn't
get the
be so
get the number.
My
8, 5,
parents
1.
demanded to know
8,
why they were so
5.
butthurt about not being allowed to
All
screw
right, come
with
on.
me anymore. Like, what was their motivation after doing it for so long? It made no sense, and it just wasn't funny anymore.
Oh my god, my camera
That's when
view
I
is fully
intervened.
fucked.
I told them
Why did it
stuff
have to
would
get
ever
glitched?
happened.
This
They
is
had
so-
been willing to come messing with me, and there was really no point
call
to
me.
it. I said
That's what I'm
that
doing.
I only started bringing my own chair because I could never find a stable place to sit. And if they still thought they were in the right about the situation, then they were just bullies, plain and simple. And what kind of example is that to be setting for their son? My brother-in-law raged, grabbed my new chair, and then hurled it through the living room bay window.
Alright, Corey, you're gonna have to do the code, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
There was a bit of a pause before he realized what he'd just done.
Shit.
Then he took off in his car and just left my sister and nephew there. My parents got my sister to call him, and over the phone, they threatened to go to the cops if he didn't pay for the damages. My brother-in-law yelled a few F-bombs until my sister took the phone back. She said that he can either make things right or she'll divorce him. Well, that did the trick, because he came back looking like a kicked puppy with his head hanging low. He apologized to me and my parents without even looking at us, and he said that he would pay for
Angel,
the
you
big
still
window
chill here.
and left again. My sister said that he drank himself to sleep that night.
Corey, I'm getting them out as fast as I can.
My new chair was just fine. It took me
Please
to roll
do.
through a bay window like a champ. There was hardly a scratch on
Angel,
it.
tell you,
My
tell
brother
him
hired
yours
a window
first.
company to come and replace the window. They had to measure and order a new one before it could
Wait,
be
don't, no,
installed.
no, no, no,
And
no.
until
Oh,
then,
okay.
The window had to be covered with plywood.
What is
It
it?
took some time, but eventually my parents got a new
Okay,
bay window.
circle and align
It was
it.
even better than the old one. Though
Okay,
I
you know,
imagine that it was
let's do it the other one.
expensive because it's a bay window. My family was still divided
mean the
about
other
the
one?
situation.
The next
for a
one,
while.
because it's time.
Mainly, my
Oh,
brother-in-law's
I thought he
parents,
had
Alright.
it.
my uncle and
Angle.
a couple of cousins blamed me and called me obnoxious over
Okay, what's your A?
insisting on bringing my own chair and refusing to let anyone else use it.
Dylan?
So I compromised.
I got a C
I said that if
with
I
a
had good
line and an O and
designated
then a
seat that
circle
no
with a
one would try
line
to
through
take
it.
away, then I would leave my chair in my
She-
car. It
It
took
looked
2
like a
more
tin.
family barbecues before they finally agreed to this.
You need to see what...
left my chair in my car unless there really wasn't enough seating.
Fuck.
Dylan.
EY6.
EY6. What's your EY?
7-6.
7-6. Angle.
Still like to take each other's seats.
What's your
Other people were following my example because they put their feet down and demanded that it stop. This has been going on for decades, and some people have had enough.
I can't make that fucking...
Hasn't caused any more trouble. But
XMT.
X and T? Okay, not just T. Angle.
She loves hosting parties. It's taken months, but everything
BP backwards M.
But without the chair thing going on,
Fuck it.
I can't even get in the room right now.
Like a local electric goes to a chair that makes farts. They didn't do this to my seat. They did it to a cousin. That cousin got the next party.
Weird A was a Y and a regular A.
He said that he needed a whole pack of fiber
Okay.
and had eggs for
And
breakfast.
what else?
And man, was it nasty. Other pranks included
Fuck it.
hiding some sort of monster thing in the toilet, cellophane in a doorway, ripping paper when someone bends over, messing with drinks, hiding shoes.
Now.
A circle with a line through
Okay.
it, E and a C.
Circle.
And finally,
7.
one that really
7.
infuriated
Angle.
my aunt and uncle when the party was held at their house. A glitter bomb. They had to get their carpet professionally cleaned, and they billed the person who made the glitter bomb for it.
10 and T, right?
No one wants them anymore, and
Fuck.
I'm fine with that.
Fuck it.
However,
Fucking,
the last
we gotta describe it as fast as you can. MWR.
And-
Backwards.
okay. M.
Now they're trying to find other ways
7.
to amuse themselves.
And the W, I think, right?
Yes. You need the W6.
Yeah. M8.
7-6.
7-6. Angle.
Your family is filled with immature bullies. What if? I mean, this is crazy. I mean, this is just a wild idea. What if we
Fuck
just
it. Fuck.
bully each other
Christ.
Corey, we gotta be as fast as possible.
I know.
and had adult conversations and enjoy each other's company
E
because
with
we
a
love each
10
other
and an
because
A.
we're family. I mean, is that
ENA. Angle.
Is that bizarre? Oh my God, OP. When the
A.
Your brother-in-law threw
six,
the
9,
chair
9,
through the
9, 9,
window.
9.
Oh my
9?
God, what is going on with this family?
Fuck it, don't worry about it. We're not wasting our time. It's
like,
fucking
it's only a
worthless.
chair. What's the big deal? Well, if it's not a big deal, why are you getting so worked up about it that you're throwing furniture out
A weird A, a
the
B, and a
window?
T.
Are you okay? Do you need to sit
B.
down, take a break, perhaps on
6.
this folding chair, and
Angle.
relax for a minute? Our next Reddit post comes from r/.
W.
I finally have
One with highlighted lines.
This is a pizza delivery place with no delivery drivers left now. I've spent the last 3 years delivering pizza for one of the
Never
mega
mind, he
chain
needed the
companies,
W2.
and I'm finally effing done. I get minimum wage.
Okay, 10 EP, lot of line C.
I can't help you, dude. I'm not even able to get in the room. Fuck this one's going to
I
hell.
get $1.50 of it. Most days, there's nothing but a single
wait for the next
driver
one.
and a manager trying to run a place doing 30-plus pizzas per hour from 11 a.m. to midnight.
Barely staying alive as
Closing
it
the
is.
store and cleanup takes until 2 a.m. minimum. And I've had days when I came
A
home
P,
H,
C,
K-
the X, the special
customers
X.
screaming,
C.
ranting, canceling
Angle.
orders all day long. Orders flooding in non-stop all day and night. It's like
K and
living in a
Y.
constant panic attack. I'm always stressed. There's always a dozen things
So
that
6,
still
7,
need
9.
doing, and a
6,
dozen other things that nobody did. At the
7,
beginning
9.
of COVID, the store had about 16 drivers.
Fucking finally. Jesus Christ.
Barely had enough staff, but it was still doable. We gradually lost about 2 hours
Yeah,
per
run back
month
to
to
Corey.
where we are now. We have a gigantic delivery area that can't be
Oh.
covered by sitting less than 6 drivers.
This door's taking forever.
Which we are non-stop. We've had 2 drivers all summer until a month ago, but now
You just gotta get to the
they
main
have
chamber.
none. I've been working an average of 70 hours per week. Some weeks
My God,
over
that
90.
one's crazy.
I'm averaging over 7
Fucking
miles per week
Christ.
in my car. Tips have become awful. Easily half the people don't even tip at all anymore. Was easily over $1,000. Beginning of this year,
Behind us, behind us.
And I'm just totally exhausted.
It's gonna take 3 fucking minutes for this shit.
They won't
Jesus Christ.
Franchise owner swears that people are just lazy and frequently intimates all of the store employees are just lazy whiners. So, on to last night, I had 20 deliveries on the board, and I'm the only driver. If he was backed up by at least 45 minutes, the owner is working the counter for his once per month shift, where he mostly just screams and gets in the way.
Kill people, I got it.
Telling them it'll be 15 minutes for their order.
I'm the medic after all.
It's gonna be 1 hour. Then he decides that I'm not moving fast enough in front of a dozen customers. He says to me, "You need to guide everyone with your delivery. People are hungry. You lazy scum." I had it. I was done. No more. Enough. I dropped all the food that I was carrying.
That door was taking forever.
Next time, when we get the miniguns,
I went out front.
we're fucking saving the miniguns.
At least we're here.
I have no idea what he was screaming while it happened, and I don't care. So
I just realized we have to do that pass mission.
I don't think we do. It says recoup at the blast door. Unless we do. That'd suck, really.
If we don't have to...
Oh my thank God, no, thank God! We made the checkpoint!
On the plus side, I slept 12 hours last night for the first time in forever, and I did not banging today.
Okay, don't stick directly on top of each other, like one person sit here and mount or behind this shit. Just protect yourselves. And if you hear drones, light them up.
Move on quick. They deserve it. And then Opie posted an update. The next day, the owner just texted wanting to know if I was coming in tonight, Friday night. Dude, it's Friday and you're late already. Are you coming? I've got no drivers here, and I already have over 20 deliveries just sitting here. WTF? What do? Do I just ignore it? Be a douche? I'm trying to decide, but I am definitely never.
I need an automatic.
And then another update. My boss texted me. I'm gonna end it sue you for ruining my business and job abandonment. I don't know how that works.
Oh no, oh no, no.
I enough to have responded.
Thank you.
I hope your lawyer's cheap, because I work for you, you cheap bastards. So you know that I'm broke. Here's some free advice for you. Don't sue poor people because we don't have anything. Now, apparently, I'm fired. Woe is me.
Fuck.
And then Opie posted another update. So I drove by this morning thinking I would be decent and return my uniform, shirts, and whatnot. Try to act like an adult or whatever. And he's closed today. There's a handwritten sign on the door that simply says, "Closed today due to I texted around my former coworkers, and apparently his rage fits all Friday and Saturday cost him 2 more employees. Also, his other daytime driver
Fuck, I had to take cover.
And walked out midday Saturday. I guess, and he doesn't seem to care because it's his own business. Now he has
Is that? Oh, that's a juggernaut.
and a 17-year-old left. Oh well, I left my uniform shirts in the dumpster around the corner. Then Opie posts another update. So my former employer is in my what? Okay, my former.
Okay, now we know there's a fucking juggernaut in there too.
Screaming his head off. And how's your Thursday night going, Reddit? So I got a knock on my door today.
Corey, don't go yet.
It, and it's my former
Everyone,
boss.
let's just see if there's the old dude exists.
I seriously dislike using just showing up at my house uninvited.
Alright, look.
Okay, WTF? So anyways, now that you've had some time, are you ready to grow up and be a man and come back to work?
What we're gonna do is one person's gonna watch one way, the other person's gonna watch the other one, and the dude in the middle is just gonna try to help on both sides. When we see the juggernaut, we all throw every grenade, everything we have, and focus on the juggernaut.
I start to go inside.
I could use my shield against it because he came from that side. Probably.
Because he hurt me when I was young. The main thing,
open 100 hours a week with just him and his general manager, and it's my fault.
Like, to be honest, if it comes to it, let's just run.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go broke any minute now. At this point,
Corey, you get in the middle and just protect, help both of us. Angel, when we get there, you get on the opposite side, watch that hallway, I'll watch this side, okay?
Pre-COVID, down to the last 6 or so, and we all bailed finally as well.
I'm gonna sit right here and watch this side.
I said, I don't give an F, I'm not interested and I don't care. I don't know how else to say this to you. Why are you here? I'm not gonna work with you ever, for any reason. So just go away.
I wish we would have saved those
Just a
miniguns,
child
but...
and an effing coward. Get back to work. I need you there. Go F yourself and get off my property. I slammed the door in his face and went inside. He stayed up there on the porch, banging on my door like a maniac, and my dogs are losing their mind. He's screaming and ranting at the top of his lungs, threatening to sue me for job abandonment, ruining him and bankrupting him, and how it's my fault that his kids are gonna starve and be homeless. My neighbors are starting to hear him. Finally, I've had enough listening to this. The poor, nice old guy across the street is standing on his lawn with his next door neighbor, and they're trying to figure out what the hell is going on over here. Finally, he starts to leave, and because I'm a petty child, as he walks away ranting, I pop the door open real quick and stick my head out and yell, Jesus sucks and you suck if you think one driver can save your awful business. I hope you go bankrupt so I can laugh at you panhandling on the street corner in a month, you cheap butthole. That maybe wasn't the best idea. I slammed the door shut, but he ran back up, pounding on the door and started screaming.
He's on my side of it.
I had to ignore another 20 minutes of his noise and BS. My neighbor actually went back inside of his house and called me. I told him what happened.
I need help back.
He asked me to maybe call the cops over domestic disturbance going on in my house. I won't say that I told him to do it, but I certainly didn't tell him not to.
Someone needs to help me.
So, my former boss is standing
Angel, run!
along the house as the sun sets on a lovely New England day. I'm sure that he won't get arrested.
The only thing I could think of is
And my, oh my,
we find a place that we could lay low, right? Have it.
That's the thing, I don't know if they can stop it when we're not there, but I guess
I
we might as well give it a fucking
won't
try.
accept that I effing quit. They did not seem all that amused.
Angel,
Oh well, not my problem. I called one of my former coworkers who also
okay, let
quit,
me be in the
and
middle, because I'm the
apparently
fucking
my
medic.
boss
I don't know what the
his
fuck I'm
house
talking
to
about.
yell at him,
Y'all
too.
be on the sides.
Oh my God,
Corey,
what
give me the
a
fucking
douche.
shotgun.
So,
I can't.
I'm just sitting on my bed watching my
I can't do that right now, so you know.
to explain harassing an ex-employee
Alright,
in
so
his home
Corey, you watch this, that
And
side.
I'm just peaceful, stress-free, and well-rested after quitting his awful job. Maybe I
You
should
watch
wait
this
then.
side, and I'll
we
just
have
try to
another
help from
update.
both.
So, as requested, I called a few other coworkers.
If y'all need my
and
help,
so
call my
far,
name.
2 others have responded saying that this boss should have their house. One told the F off, slammed the door in his face, and ignored him. The other wasn't home, but his mother answered, and boss man tried to get her flat for her kid quitting. Oh my God, OP, your boss is such a doofus. If his business is really this dependent on one driver, and you really did think he was bankrupt and really could ruin his business and he wants to sue you and all that stuff, then maybe, just maybe, you should hire a second driver. That was r/Best of Predator updates, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same
blinded me
episodes.
too.
Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day. Welcome to r/Pro Revenge, where OP destroys his toxic boss's life, career, and marriage. Our next to preface this, I'm a really
Juggernaut on our side.
Hey, Angel, come chuck grenades on the Juggernaut.
I promise. A while back when this happened, I was a target with my younger sister.
I have to pick up one of the weapons.
Normal sister bonding stuff. I think it was about
I'm a Flash.
we found some ugly jackets in the mid-wear section and started trying to talk to mine. Next thing I know, 3 girls in volleyball uniforms surround us. The first thing I noticed is 2 of the 3 girls were filming us while volleyball having rapid-fire questions while going to
Be careful.
I was so surprised.
Corey, right beside you, man.
Said,
Did he go around?
No, I think he died.
She holds a jacket up. I said, sure, I guess.
Did he?
Really? Yeah. Okay, buy it for me. Are you serious? You said you thought it looked
Alright, go
good,
back to your original
so
positions.
buy it for me. No. We sort of went back and forth and her insisting that I buy her the jacket. Her friends and saying that I should buy her the jacket, and saying if I don't buy her the jacket, then I lied about being good on her. At the same time, I'm slowly walking out of the store with me trying to get away. I could see my little sister was super uncomfortable, and I know she was kind of shy, so this is really mortifying for
I got you.
her. That made me angry. It also occurred to me that they must think I'm some sort of crazy back then, because because I can't fathom these types of kids bothering anyone with a single hair of puberty.
I got it.
Honestly, pudgy little 10-year-olds. Meanwhile, I'm wearing my crooked glasses, messy jeans, and a YMCA summer camp shirt.
You fucking moved from my revive, you dingus.
Look look like kids.
For me, you fucking head, you keep turning. So I missed your fucking head, dude.
Fuck. Run. There's
a ton around here.
In my best, I need to speak to your manager because I tell my sister, go
Alright,
find
I'm
the
gonna get you,
boy.
bro.
My sister takes off running. This is where
go on.
the girls stop laughing and start telling me to chill out, and it's just a prank, which only makes me angrier. I go in on them about how stupid they're being and how harassing
they can't do
strangers
shit.
decidedly not
I got the
funny.
defuse.
I throw
Okay.
in some choice
Oh, they can do
Really
shit.
sucks, guys. Now I have to shit.
angrier. I pull my phone out and start recording them and laughing
I know.
They I think this is where they started getting worse because they took off. I tried following them, but then my sister came back and said, wait, I go on to explain how we were shopping.
Dude!
And suddenly harassed by these 3 girls trying to force us to buy them things and filming us.
Alright, so they can do shit, so we have to be here.
I repeated my story and showed them the photos I took of the little turds. Next thing I know, those annoying kids
Oh my god, I'm
were
fucking surrounded, dude.
and they really I walked out and tell them to F off and drag myself to an appointment. But I wasn't done.
Let me go shit and we'll do this again, and this time,
jerseys with their club names.
use your
I
eyes,
Google their volleyball club and I find the club and
I was
blast
talking to Corey.
any email I can find.
It was, really, I was.
Facebook, but
We're so
I'm
close,
still
just-
not done.
we can do
I go on
this.
social media and stalk through their photos. I find the club's Instagram, and after some work, I find their friends who have tagged some of their moms. Through those moms, I find the moms of those 3 kids. I cross-reference Facebook and see the girls' parents with pictures of their families. I confirm the faces of these little turds.
No.
Blast their social media with my disappointed and upset grown-up voice. I include pictures. I also find the mom who's chaperoning the kids, and I blast her too. I wait. Within hours,
What?
I have a reply from the director of the volleyball club and replies from 2 of the parents. The mom who was chaperoning them, funnily enough, blocked me. I never got an apology from those little turds, but I hope having a stranger hunting them down and contacting people from their lives scared them straight. To top it off, I posted a glowing review of the Target and how they handled the situation. A week later, one of the dads asked me to take it down, so I obliged. He asked very nicely. The lesson here, don't act like a little turd. Our next Reddit post is from deleted. It all happened 5 or so years ago while I
There were
was
so
working
many
for
of
a
them,
trading
like,
firm.
it's crazy, bro.
Multinational, and it opened a new office in my city a couple of years before I joined them. For those who don't know, most prop shops, as I understand it, have a very high turnover rate. Just toss everyone in and keep those who stick. The company I worked for recruited every 3 months.
Well,
I had
shit,
space
guess
for
what?
120 traders, but the office was never full. Out of the 20 or so people we hired every quarter, only about 5 people managed to make it beyond the 3-month internship period, and of those, only 1, or sometimes none at all, made it past the additional 3 months probation period. The company was operating in my city for about 2 years before I joined, and there were only about 4 people who I could call permanent. Everyone else, about 10 or so people, was either an intern or still on probation. The setup. I and about 25 others were recruited straight out of university. The internship position paid really well for a first job. About twice as much as any other entry-level position in other financial institutions. Plus bonuses once you went live. And I was really excited. I first came across my boss, a really decent Indian guy at an industry day held in our university. That was where they administered the IQ test and I passed. The office, similar to other mid-sized operations, had a pretty flat management structure. Us traders were at the lowest level. The HR and ops manager were above us, and the office manager was, well, the head of the branch. The boss gave time off pretty much.
Yeah, they took my dick away.
However, the ops manager was his polar opposite, and then some. This lady was a grade A B word, and I mean that sincerely. Let's call her Gabby, the instigating event. I first met Gabby when I went to the offices for my final interview. I was registering at the front desk when she marched from her office demanding some documents from the receptionist. The receptionist wanted to finish up with me first.
Yeah, right? Goddamn. He's got fucking two fucking armor refills to fucking go through.
I'm really excited. Don't be. You don't look like you'll make it. Why? You're too soft. But
oh, look at that. I got another armor.
Huh, very funny. I'm serious. Give me something and I'll make it very easy for you. Otherwise, I'll make sure you don't even get to the interview. No, stupid idiots. She said it right to my face, and she kept her word. She made me sit in the hidden corner of the waiting room where no one else would see me easily. But I could hear the conversation at the desk. The only reason why I got an interview is because, apparently, I had impressed the boss at our previous meeting, so he came to see why my resume wasn't there. Gabby said that I hadn't sent it in. The receptionist said that she saw it somewhere. Then, I walked up to the desk at the same time the receptionist said, "Here it is." It was in the trash. And everyone stared at Gabby. From that moment of humiliation onwards, Gabby had a raging hate boner for me. You see, Gabby was a micromanager, more of a nano-manager, really. She required us to request access and
my own teammate
other than those in her approved list. And for traders who gain info from wherever we can find it, her list was woefully inadequate.
Trade's okay, but goddamn, fucking this part sucks.
And in her lengthy meetings, you could never leave to check on your positions. She had this annoying habit of stealing my lunch, and when I confronted her about it, she essentially told me to go screw myself.
We're waiting for a smelly Delonte to get out of the fucking toilet.
I guess she liked the attention because she would have a stream of guys picking her up at the office for 2-hour lunches, and she left her home to be but not on Thursday. Thursdays were the days when her husband would come pick her up towing their kids along. I think they
Switch not dead yet?
or something. Gabby's first mistake. Our manager left
Your Switch not dead yet?
I think he returned to India to get married or something, but still stayed with the company. I wished him all the best.
That's why it's on the charger right now.
Permanent trainers had the experience corporate
Wait,
required
he's
to take
playing
on
on the
management
Switch?
roles.
No, his
Shop
Switch is still
around. In the
dead.
meantime, Gabby became the
Charge it, Poophead!
branch, despite the fact that
There
her
is
knowledge of futures
charging.
markets was rudimentary at best.
He's been playing Breath of the Wild, so he hasn't been trying to fucking get his fucking shiny.
No, I was planning on getting that, but then
I
my
said
Switch
charge
died
it!
before I was able to.
She promoted 20 people she liked, kept me and another guy in
Well,
internship
you should
position
think
in
about that
Fire 4.
first.
At around the same
What?
time, another recruitment drive happened and another 20 or so interns were hired. I knew this was because of our beef, and I was actually surprised she held on to it for this long. It was also pretty unusual, since the last thing my former boss did before he left
I
was
could
to
see
promote
what's
me from the
charged, to be
simulator to a
honest.
live trading account. But I kept my head down and
Well, I have
continued
a kitty
learning,
calling on
often
me
going back
right
to
now.
my former boss and the permanent employees to get advice. Another 3 months go by, and in the next evaluation, I was shocked that I still wasn't brought up to probation, despite the fact that all the new recruits of the second group had been promoted, and I was easily the best and the only one trading live. I knew I was good at this job. The permanent guys all said so. The group I initially joined with was frequently asking me for advice. To their credit, a few of them were good, but most of them were still on simulation, and as a rule, no one advanced to probation while still on simulation. However, you could go live while on internship if you were good, which is what happened to me. So, I was a live trader and making good money, but I was still on internship and passed over twice. I couldn't let go of that. I decided to talk to Gabby directly. I approached the senior guys and made my case, though I was careful not to put her in a bad light. They agreed to help me out. About a month later, she finally gave me my promotion and I was on probation. At this time, she was still unsure of her power and was still afraid of the permanent traders. Those guys were like gods. 2 months after my promotion, there was another evaluation and recruitment drive. I was not promoted. The group I started out with
I'm the
was
black guy now?
communist,
Seriously?
despite having only 2 of them trading live. The group I was currently on probation with were all promoted to permanent status. The group behind me on internship was all promoted to probation, and another group was hired.
Goddamn, it's about time, Jesus.
Round 2. 3 months go by. I'm trading
Also,
live
now I'm
and
the black guy?
loving
Like,
it.
what the fuck?
Though I'm still on probation. An evaluation comes up.
I wanted to be
and
fair.
again, I'm not promoted.
I got demoted, so you know.
Contract to contract, I was almost on level with the permanent employees. The group that found
You
me
got
on probation
promoted.
was advanced to permanent status to a man, and none of them
What
were
do you mean?
live.
I'm not a guy anymore. I'm a dude. I'm a male, a female.
Alright guys, I think I know what our plan is to win this stuff.
Oh yeah? What's your plan, huh?
You know how we killed the minigun?
Yep.
Juggernaut?
We need to get his gun?
Angel the minigun.
Okay.
And when Angel gets the minigun, we use it when we absolutely need it.
Got it.
Dude, your job is to grab the minigun and become Arnold Schwarzenegger,
A new batch of newbies were hired as interns. I couldn't let this
Yes,
go.
I said it wrong.
You guys get to the chopper.
Employees who are now my very good buddies and plan to do the same thing as last time. Only this time, it didn't work.
That is true.
Gabby had grown into her
I'm the only
sadistic
human being
power
in
and
this
flatly refused to even consider my promotion. Even after she was presented with evidence that I was working,
You don't even got any bots in your
I'm the boss, and I can do whatever.
Stay on your side, motherfucker.
So I contacted my former boss for help. At
Well,
the
you
time,
turned around the
he had
second
been
Civil
promoted to
War.
head of operations in Africa. He was actually quite surprised, given my
Well, don't
performance.
get yourself
I was still
stuck.
on
You won't have
probation.
that problem.
Needless to say, the word came down from on high, and Gabby was like she was
Same
giving birth
girl.
to 6 pineapples simultaneously. She handed me my letter. And I thought that was
Get it, you want attention
how
too,
wrong
just
I
like your
was.
brother that
On
comes.
the next recruitment, she hired this girl. Let's call her Sue. She was an intelligent
Tell it.
She had the emotional quotient to handle the market. Trading, as I was taught, requires IQ and EQ. You can improve your IQ, but you can
Hey, that's how Angel completely actually comes out of me.
Sue had more than enough of an IQ, but EQ, not so much. No worries, you can work on that.
Juggernaut.
Pay attention, it should be
Juggernaut.
About 70
Oh,
employees.
okay, cool.
Of
Okay,
these,
come on.
over 30 were permanent staff, me included, but only 11
Yeah,
were
we
trading
got
live.
raped by the million
Another 20 or
drones.
so were on probation. Only 3 were trading live. None of the managers were live. The office had to be properly.
He's still alive, he's still alive.
Which means
He's
the
dead.
money from the 14 live
Angel,
traders were
get over there. Angel, I need you to go get that minigun.
supplies, health insurance, and genetics.
Behind us, behind us, behind us, behind us.
Damn it.
Oh.
Shutting down
Pull
the
right out.
Yeah,
Use the
yeah.
minigun, please.
The last straw. Gabby took advantage of an inconsolable and desperate Sue to try to get me
Next
for
time, you know what?
sexual
Just take the
harassment.
minigun, shove it up your ass, and pull the trigger.
Exactly, just pull it down.
Let me get the minigun. Fuck it. Y'all just stay in the location. I'll go get the minigun.
We divided up the sim traders
Yeah, you're our healer.
Sue was one of them.
Yeah, that's why
You're
I'm
not
trying
putting
to
your
not
shield
get
on?
myself killed, so I fucking...
Profitability is
What?
usually one of
You're not putting your armor on?
really good, and it's filled
did.
with stress
No, you
and
didn't.
fear,
Oh.
hence the need
Dude,
for
Oh,
I
wait.
literally have max
It's
armor.
normal
Thanks.
when you get through it. Sue was going through one of these
Yeah,
rough
I
patches when you
know. Shut up and get your spots,
It
motherfuckers.
was a bad trading
I didn't get a gun, okay?
just burst out crying. I know how it feels. I shit my
Don't take the shotgun. You need a fully automatic, bro.
I held her hand and patted her awkwardly on the back until she quieted down. What I didn't know was that Gabby had seen us. As I came to learn later, she approached me bluntly and made an offer. Gabby would make sure that Sue kept her job and give her a lot of money if she stated that I had sexually harassed her. Sue took Gabby up on the offer, and what
what can I
followed
do?
was a nightmare. It started with a formal reprimand from corporate.
I've been
which I
trying,
wasn't
bro. I've
present
been
to
trying to.
myself because Gabby forgot to send me the summons. Apparently, she
But I
lied quite
can't
viciously to
use
get me
my mind
fired.
against robots,
The
bro.
only reason I was able to keep my job was that my former boss was my defense. Despite his help,
I'm
I
not
lost my
Magneto,
job.
sorry to say.
Should be
$1,000 and half of my whole back. About $400.
There you go. I would tell it.
Which essentially involved watching us sing.
I wasn't. I mean, I didn't. I was trying to yell at Dylan.
I gotta switch this gun because this is
Go on my
shit.
record. I knew that if that happened,
God.
Gabby would have the
Oh, shit.
ammunition she needed to ruin my life
I got an
forever.
armor up.
So every day, I got into the office at 7 in the morning, watched the
Juggernaut.
8-hour until 10,
Angel.
refused to acknowledge it, then got to work, leaving the office at 11.
That's how Angel has
Get the
every
drones.
game.
For almost 7 months. It was tiring and torturous, and Gabby never let me lay it down. All the people I'd been mentoring were transferred the day after my reprimand. A day after that, Gabby told my criticizing me cut from 1,000 to 20 contracts. Yeah,
Yes.
I had to admit, I wasn't playing. I was
Fuck,
down,
bro.
but that moron didn't
Someone
know
go get me.
the revenge.
There's people to kill. kill. Be careful.
Gabby's career. I started compiling all the things that happened to me in the office. It started when I realized that when I went out to lunch, someone would open my desk drawer and mess around with my notebook, where I jotted down my trading ideas for the day. The only person who had a key apart from me was Gabby. Apparently, she had learned my lunchtime routine for the entire 45-minute break and would open my locker
I
when I
will
was out
move.
smoking.
The rest of you sit and fiddle your dicks.
I even saw them at it once, but
no, I know. But sit there and fiddle your dicks. Don't follow me.
I let it go on for a while.
Let me go get we can. Me and Corey will take on the Juggernaut, and then you just sit there and watch your ass.
No money was reaching corporate, and that there were only 11 live traders. Well, the situation had only gotten worse. The office was now full, but we had less than 15 live traders. Live tradings could only be approved by head
going for fucking headshots now. I'm fucking done with this shit.
Now, imagine that my trading capacity had been cut by over 90%. My two friends agreed to my plan, and they slowed their trading by around 50%. Essentially put the branch in the red, and 3 weeks later, we were told the head of ops and other
I'm sorry, I get confused a bit.
Getting Sue into a corner. After revealing to her that I could prove that she was stealing my work, that was enough to get a written statement from her that Gabby had orchestrated my whole sexual harassment thing. Step 2, ruin Gabby's marriage. It took only a little investigation on my part to realize that
Kill it,
actually Gabby's lovers. She would leave for 2-hour lunches with her phone.
I can't.
I took advantage of one such period. Gabby left, and I snuck into her office to find her Facebook profile open. Everyone knew she was always on there, and it was a sore point because she had banned it for the rest of us minions.
Juggernaut.
And voila. Explicit texts, nudes, rants about her husband and his inadequacies, the 6 guys who she cheated with, all of it. I can you can receive she was also logged into and sent it to my private email, then deleted it from her system.
Just stay right there, guys.
Now I had the ammo on my phone. Step 3, ruin Gabby's relationship with her kids.
Corey, don't even come to me.
But to bust my justice nut,
I wasn't really going after you, to be honest. I didn't.
I waited for Thursday.
I went back.
You got stuck on your own box.
Yes, I got stuck on my own box, bro.
You have to come back, I mean.
Thursday. I was at the office at 7 as usual with all my rejected promotion requests. I sat through the 3-hour sexual harassment video.
Holy
yes, I was
fuck,
still
bro.
doing that, and I waited for my moment. The guys from corporate, my former boss
fuck the
included,
minigun.
arrived and went
We're just gonna
straight to a
kill
meeting
him,
with Gabby.
and we're gonna stay
I
put.
was quite certain they would call me in to ask why I'd been attending a sexual harassment awareness class for almost a year,
We just have
and
to
I was
fucking-
ready for them. I was called in after lunch at about 2. The question was asked, and before I could answer, Gabby jumped on the bed like I knew she would. She went on a long rant about how I've been insubordinate and how I like to touch female employees. I could tell from her grin that she
How
thought
can
that she
you
was
even
winning.
complete this
And
in under
then
40
I pulled
minutes?
out
Like, this
Sue's
is
letter,
insanity.
and the grin curled on
Ooh,
her
we
face.
just have to get good, huh?
Sue was called in and she backed up my story.
Literally.
She said she was very sorry. She was fired on the spot and told to go away to the receptionist for her final check. I felt no sympathy. I was on a roll. Next, I pulled out the analysis of my trades and told them how Gabby had been breaking
Maybe it's because he fucking loves my ass.
Gabby denied it. Sue was called back in. She denied it. My former boss lied about the never told Susan my trading data. He compared the positions taken by both of us with my notes.
Dylan.
He said it was true. Sue was fired again. They told me they would refund my confiscated bonus and holdback with an extra $50K. That was fine by me. The justice was enough. And then I spotted Gabby's husband getting into her office as usual with her 2 kids in tow. I pulled out my phone, grinned at her, and said, "Your husband is here." She turned around and saw him. She introduced herself for a minute to tell him to wait. My boss said, "Sure." I pressed send. That's the end of the story, but then OP posted an update. As for the aftermath, Gabby's husband absolutely lost his mind. Her office was glass-walled and the rest was open plan, so we could all hear what they were shouting about. He finally left with her kids in tow. Gabby followed him, shouting at him. Then she saw us all
Juggernaut.
standing around, and all on her face priceless as she was wondering which aspect of her life to try to salvage. She let her husband go, but about an hour later she had been fired. My favorite boss stayed behind since there was no one left. He stayed for about a month training the lady who had been with the company.
Fuck you, Flash me.
Manager. She is the most brilliant mind that I've ever worked with. Unfortunately, the branch was still struggling.
Shit, man, why can't I never get that shit? Just run back, run back.
Transfer all the other high-performing employees to other various branches in London and India. So, I guess no one undeservedly lost their jobs. I still stalk Gabby on Facebook. There have been a lot of, I'm single because I'm too awesome, posts of late. I'm so sorry, shit. Then I remember the 3-hour video when I stopped being foolish.
I got armor up, Corey.
From what I could see on LinkedIn, she browsed around with armor journalist. My favorite boss is still at the front.
I get armor too.
I took a break from training for a while. After all that mess went down, I needed a break.
Oh my god, my character's stupid and wants to reload. How about you
armor.
Fucking heal myself.
That was r/permaban. If you like this content, check out my Patreon where I publish extra episodes. Also hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.
I got you, Corey. Same page. How did that fucking miss?
Support your neighborhood and your team. I'm low on ammo.
Run, get the minigun. If I can get that minigun.
Today I effed up, where OP takes a dump in his girlfriend's bed. Today I effed up by sleeping over
Corey,
my
pay attention to the other side. I got it. Get to the other side.
I'm a 38-year-old guy, and I'm in the process of a high-conflict divorce. It's 5 years in the making after 8 years married. 5 months ago, I met a wonderful woman. She's been very understanding of the situation with my soon-to-be ex and my kids. We put off sleeping over since I was still living with my wife in our house. A couple of weeks ago, the court ordered my wife to move out and we exchanged the kids every week. This was her week with the kids. And
What? Dylan.
Just a few fucking seconds.
Pills on and off for the past 6 months. This week was particularly hard with the kids out of the house, and by Thursday I had a total of 10 hours of sleep. So I went to the pharmacy for sleeping pills.
Oh.
Had already warned me that she's a light sleeper and has a strict schedule going to sleep at 10 p.m.
Get us.
I went our first night.
Get Dylan first. Get Dylan first.
Secondly, my experience has taught me that I need at least 3 sleeping pills to feel the effects. And even then, they take a few hours to kick in. Granted, I never used this particular brand, but I trust my experience, and it might be that I'm just not that responsive to sleeping agents. So I get to her house after a tough day in the office where I had to let go of
I
stuff.
hate this
I'm sleep deprived and emotionally exhausted. We order pizza and salad, and when it
What's
arrives,
most
it's time
annoying
to
is we
eat.
literally
It's around
fucking
7
did it.
p.m.,
All we had to do
so
was
I decided to
regroup.
take the pills
And of
then,
course
so
we
they
all
would
got
have time to do
splattered
their
on our
thing.
fucking
We get
asses,
the salad,
and Angel's
by the
fucking
time we
legs
get
were
to
too
the
short to
pizza,
swim.
by the end of the
Or
meal,
touch the fucking
I
ground.
can't see straight. It's difficult to form
I don't
sentences,
think
and I'm experiencing very strong hiccups. My girlfriend sits me on the couch and rubs my back to help with the hiccups, and within 20 minutes they're gone. She helps me brush my teeth and helps me into bed. It's just after 8 p.m., and she jumps into bed with me and rubs my back and arms until I'm asleep. Next thing I know, I feel a bark coming on, and I just let it rip. As you can guess, it was a trick my sphincter was playing on my sleeping
left alive. At least I can
brain,
fight
and I go on to make it a
fast.
positive loose change in my underpants. I jump out
If only we could use those fucking
I try to quietly clean up, and long story short, I go through a roll of toilet paper and ruin 2 hand towels and a little carpet by the toilet in the process. I leave the bathroom, and I run into my very rude girlfriend pacing in the hallway. I tell her what happened, and she bursts out laughing, telling me the story, and after assuring me
yeah,
that
those are what I
she puts me
wanted
back
to fucking
sleep.
put down, but
I woke up this morning to a clean bathroom, launder towels and underwear, and
honestly, that was kind of a waste of 2 fucking proximity mines.
Whatever. It did something else other than us using bullets, so.
Sharks. Down in the comments, leave this for life on my heart data. I took a dump on my
I still had to use bullets.
I took a dump on my girlfriend's couch when we first started dating. We've been married 13
Tell it.
years this year. We got rid of the couch though. Today I have to buy
I'm down.
committing 9 felonies and 7 misdemeanors. This happened 9 years ago.
I missed you and shot cardboard.
Every day. It's a long one, so buckle up. This story starts with me, a quiet but well-liked throughout the school's 17-year-old IT class at my high school in a large school district. We had one of the best high school IT programs in the country at the time for many reasons.
Oh my god, pick up Corey. Do you think I really give a shit about reloading? No, I don't.
Basic maintenance on school computers.
Apparently, when you go into water, you're up in the water. I see
Our
how.
class never touched those computers. My friend and I were the two students who always finished our
Juggernaut!
So we were always tasked by our IT teacher with helping us with IT.
I can't see shit.
Issues running while everyone else worked on their classwork.
Oh my god, I can't shoot until I can't see.
The IT guys
Oh, this is
hard to go around the school and take care of business. This is important later. Over time,
Kill
my
it!
friend and I became well known by staff around the school for being able to fix anything. So
He's dead.
we eventually gained a lot of trust from our IT teacher and district IT guy, to the point that we knew passwords that we absolutely did not.
I'm staying on water. It's safety underwater, boys.
Password to the surveillance system, to the master password that
I can't see.
to access everything from HR files to grades to mechanical systems. This password literally let us access anything
Where was
on
the fucking
any
minigun?
computer in the entire district. And before you ask, yes, all the buildings in the district were linked together, and no, they were firewall off from each other. Now, we never used our powers maliciously, as we loved our school and we never done anything to harm anyone or damage any systems. One day I thought to myself, wow, information security in this district is atrocious. I wonder how easy it would be to test it from a student's perspective, then present my findings to the
Please
district
pull out
IT
the
guy.
fucking.
This would be the beginning of the biggest screw-up of my life. My mission was to
Think of a different gun, goddammit.
from a classroom and bring it to the lab. Easy enough. I was given the IT guy set of master keys and sent off. While walking through the room, I dropped the key. It took a few minutes to find the right key on the ring. When I found it, since I was looking a bit harder than usual at each key, I noticed something peculiar about the key he used to open the door inside the school. It was DGM, and it looked different than the usual stamp on the master key for this one high school building. Since I hadn't seen this abbreviation before, I thought,
Guys, if you're about to die or something, you can go underwater and they act like you're not even there.
but it looks different. I opened up the door to the empty classroom, fired up
Well, I'm apparently invisible. I'm not the water.
the key that gave me the bidding code so I could duplicate it later on. I grabbed the computer and went back to the lab and gave the key back. Curious about what the DGM stamp meant, I started Googling on my phone. It came up with GM as Grandmaster, the key above the master key. However, I couldn't find anything about DGM. I just
Get the
thought,
fucking blast
okay,
doors.
this is just the Grandmaster key that opens all 3 buildings on the school property. No big deal. Those buildings were the main school, the theater, and the gym. Okay,
Hold
but
square
what does
and clear
the D and DGM stand for?
Hold square and clear
Nothing in
area.
the school district starts with a D except district.
Do it, I'm
gotta
doing
fucking clear the area, I'm
It must
stupid.
mean district grandmaster. But they can't be stupid enough to make one key that opens doors in all 15 schools.
I can't see shit. I can't see shit. Can't see shit.
On the website, they built the locksmithing app. A week later, it shows up and I
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Before gym class, I tried it on one of the doors in the auxiliary gym, and lo and behold, it was great.
I fucking hated that area, but thank God we're out.
This key can cause a lot of damage if they wanted to. But how would they get past the alarm system in each building? Because it would be difficult to just really do a lot of damage if the building was full of people. Naturally, if someone with ill intentions would carry out their act at night while
You guys finally got out of there. Holy shit.
cards that every staff member in the district had. It was
Dude,
an
I should've
integrated
made this a
system with
YouTube video
flaws
like
that were well
shit.
known in the IT.
I haven't streamed it, bro.
So the cards, electric doors, and alarms must be controlled at the school level, not at the district.
And you weren't even
office,
streaming since the
right?
beginning.
So how was I going to get a hold of a key
You guys
card
have been
long
on
enough
it
to
for
scan
at
and
least like
duplicate it
2.5
onto a new
hours or
card?
more.
That required a laptop and a special piece of equipment that I couldn't just bring to school while everyone was here. I thought, surely I can't access the
They
security
have bombs
system
on
and
them,
look up badge
right?
codes
Oh,
with the IT master
okay.
password
It's
that
our
I know.
people.
That defeats the whole purpose of this test. So where's the next vulnerability in the system? Then I realized that there's a gate to the staff parking lot that's open with key cards, but not their district cards. They had separate cards for the gate. I scanned the entire network for this gate controller, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I thought, good job, school district, leaving your gate system closer. It's intriguing to program, but definitely more secure. Okay, so where's the gate controller located? I've got a district master key, so when I find it, I can access it locally.
It's only
I look at the gate itself, and I see a freshly paved
Don't
line of the
touch it.
concrete leading from the basement to the auxiliary gym. Okay, it's somewhere in the auxiliary gym.
Oh shit.
Saturday during football practice, the gym is disarmed and the front door's open. Everyone's out in the field, so no one will see me enter the building. Hey, there's a closet by the front door. I'll try that one first. There it effing is. The gate controller is mounted on the wall. I open up the panel and attach my laptop. Oh no, there's a password. What could it be? It can't be the master password because this isn't connected to the network. I look at the circuit board and there's a label that says admin dash the name of our city. Unbelievably, that's the login.
Actually,
IT people are paid 6 figures to come up with this stuff. Seriously? I access the swipe log.
Yeah, I got 1 star.
Trend. Half the time someone swipes into the parking lot, there's an access denial that immediately precedes a valid gate card swipe. I thought they must be swiping their district cards first instead of their gate card. Lucky for me, this system reports badge numbers when access is denied. So
I'm laying my...
several district key card codes, protected by a password that's the name of our city. Wonderful. I sit through the logs and notice the names of 3 district janitors, all 3 with the preceding access denied messaging codes, followed by their valid gate cards.
You could go to Granger.com to find what you need to get the job done. Granger, supplies and solutions for every industry.
I remember these people from my previous schools, so their district cards must open multiple buildings. I took one of the codes and encoded it onto a blank keycard with a special piece of equipment that cost me $20 on eBay. I walked right up to the front door and scanned the card. I heard a loud click, and the reader light turned green.
I know that gun should have been higher XP.
I now have the District Grandmaster key and a key card that disarms every school alarm system in the district. Nothing is off limits to me. Part 2 complete. I called up my friend, who somewhat knew what was going on. And once nighttime rolled around, we decided to visit almost every school in the district, just to see if it actually worked. And boy did it. We easily swiped into each school, the alarm automatically disarmed, and the DGM key opened every door in every building that we visited. I found myself thinking, good lord, security here is even more atrocious than I thought. We had the decency to rearm each building before we left, and once we were done, we planned on telling the IT guy on Monday when we went to class. Well, me being the moron that I am,
I thought we only fought like 3 to
Sunday morning. I swiped in, and within 10 seconds,
okay, guys, look, okay, the assault, if you level that up again more, you get a ton of more stuff, but also, like, recon, look, if you get to tier 3 on recon...
So, I told him who I was and what I was doing. He took me to his office and sat me down while he made a phone call. It was someone at the district office. All I heard him say was, I can't distinguish this from my own badge. It's a perfect copy, but it has his name and photo on it. He hangs up.
Well, now I want episode 2 of that, because that was actually fun.
Key. This especially panics him because he knew what it was, but he didn't know anyone other than the district ops manager that had one. He makes another phone call. This is the principal of the middle school. I need someone to come down here right now. I'm thinking, okay. So
why would you want to do the veteran?
Cool. Boy, was I wrong. Within a few minutes, about 6 police officers show up and start asking me questions. I'm honest. I tell my plan and what I did.
What is fucking going on?
My short explanation. They took the key cards and district master key and asked me to call my parents to come pick me up. They searched my car and find pot in the trunk. Whoops. So there's a charge right there. They said they'll notify us later once they talk to the district, and I was released into my dad's custody. A few hours later, my mom gets a phone call from the vice principal saying that I'm not to attend school on Monday and we'll have a meeting that evening at the high school. Okay, understandable. I haven't been able to explain myself. They're just playing it safe. Whoops, wrong again. We arrive at the school for the meeting. My IT teacher is sitting in the school office with a disappointed yet very proud look on his face. As we arrived, we were called into the conference room. I expected it to be just the vice principal, but LMAO, no. It was the vice principal, 2 cops, and some random district official. My IT teacher was just there to translate the technical terms. I explained my whole plan, being interrupted many times by everyone to ask their own questions. At one point, the vice principal says, "Jesus, IT teacher, you're not supposed to be teaching this stuff." The IT teacher says, "Vice principal, do you realize the amount of critical thinking and work that went into this project?" Well, after he says this, there's a knock on the door. It's
what are we doing?
IT professional. One of the random district officials leaves, and the IT lady enters and sits down in front of me. The vice principal says, "OP, this is the IT lady, the district director of IT."
That was 2 hours of my life just to defeat that.
I guess I'm leaving the fucking squad.
What did you hack? I could literally see the veins popping out of her head. She was super pissed off. She just couldn't accept that a bored teenage kid just wanted to see if this was possible and was able to compromise her systems in 1 week. At one point, the officers asked her to leave the room and take a break because she was getting so worked up. Fast forward after the meeting, the police took myself, my mom, the vice principal, and the IT teacher to my house and seized all of my electronic equipment.
Next time,
everything from my cell phone to my laptop to my Wi-Fi adapter and everything in between.
Actually, to be honest, you'll probably do Avenger and Core if I'm not able to get on. The police officer
opened it, rummaged around for a bit, taking everything electronic out of it, then gently and overdramatically pulling a strand of condom wrappers out in front of everybody. My mom glared at me because she didn't know that I was passionately hugging at 17. And my mom's new boyfriend left the room
I wasn't thinking about that. I was,
the cop looked at the vice principal, not sure what to do, and my IT teacher gently face-palmed.
And to do something like that, I definitely am going to do that at like 11 o'clock.
They all left after seizing basically everything that I own. Fast forward to a few days later, I get a letter from the district
y'all started that at like 11, and it's fucking 1 in the morning.
Great.
And it took us 2 hours and 13 minutes.
I say exactly what I said in the first meeting.
Just because of stupid shit like
letter 2 weeks later. Expelled.
The puzzles in that was fun though. Episode 2 is probably gonna be fucking great. I'm actually I want that next episode.
Okay, I didn't know what the charges were, but they were pressing them.
It was difficult though.
we could also just try to bang out 3 stars on it, you know.
They're just as confused as the district people.
Well, that and also we have co-op we can do so we can level up our tiers on our classes.
By this point, the district has done
I feel like
no evidence that I stole or caused damage to property or the computer networks. They then informed me that I'm being charged with 9 counts of felony burglary too, 3 counts of a Class A misdemeanor computer crime.
To be honest, Modern Warfares were the ones that came out with the
1 count of possession of a controlled
survival mode, where you and your friends go in and you kill people, you get money, and then use money to buy better guns, stuff like that. I'm kind of shocked they didn't bring it back, but maybe because people just didn't care for the one that they brought in the first one.
She was actually a very nice
because the old Modern Warfare had a great swap mode. I fucking loved it.
Because she usually got the murderers and the rapists.
Hey, maybe they'll bring it in the future. I heard they're supposed to bring a shit like gun game into Call of Duty.
Before my first hearing, she recommended to the school district to not press charges. She felt
like
that this could be remedied in district, since while the crimes were committed, I wasn't aware of the crimes, and there was obviously no bad intent.
If we do more co-ops and stuff, we can work on leveling up our kits, so we can, like, I have self-revive now, which is gonna help a lot.
The judge was extremely confused by the whole situation, saying, "We've never seen a case like this before."
Oh, there's assault assault, medic, and
recon. The DA also looked equally as confused.
And if you haven't done any of the raids, you're only good with assault.
Yeah. You can, basically, you just have to earn stars to level up your classes, but you also gotta earn stars to unlock the next 2.
The district is pursuing all charges and wants $80,000 in restitution for new district security systems.
That's a challenge. Regular co-op, they don't take that long.
I live in a constant state of panic for the next 3 months while waiting for the next court date. I ended up going to the district's alternate school while attending twice.
Oh, they have
my lawyer, my juvenile rep, and the district lawyers were doing all the talking.
It's not actual gun game.
The entire case
really?
to the judge.
That's just the name of the mission, dude.
That sucks.
The game yet.
Property, even though
I told you the gun game's coming, it's just not there yet. That's
About 7 months into this, the judge had enough. She didn't want to hear anything more and was going to issue my ruling at the next hearing. She explained that $80,000 in restitution was ludicrous, and the district was going to pay for their own security.
Do you feel bad?
She then looked at me and asked me to rise. She said, "I have 3 options here, Mr. OP. Option 1, I dismiss all the charges and we'll be done here. Option 2, I drop the marijuana charge, reduce all your charges to attempted misdemeanors, and send you to 1-year bench probation. Option 3, I send you to jail right now. I almost lost it right there.
If you really want, we could possibly look up the guide of where all the freaking intel is on that.
I'm unable to do that. So I'm going with option 2. I hereby sentence you to 1 year of bench probation and order you to pay restitution in the amount of $3,200 for district staff overtime. Good luck, Mr. OP. I don't remember what was said after that, because I was so relieved I almost passed out. After 3 months of thinking that I was going to prison for 20 years, it was all over. I was numb for the rest of the day. All in all, the whole experience
if it's intel's on every map, then I guess not.
Hey, at least I'm not in prison. Great, right? Actually, it ended up better than I thought. I ended up graduating from the alternate school's accelerated graduation program shortly after that.
Complete the CCTV sequence in 4 minutes. Oh, Jesus.
I got to essentially skip most of my junior and all of my senior year at high school. I ended up working my butt off and got a great IT job in a company that I still work for today. And now I have IT director as my title. And that's how I royally effed up by shaming my school district. Shove it, IT lady. And to prove that OP wasn't lying, he includes the actual documents the court served him when they charged him with these felonies. So, yeah.
This map, oh my god, I have to get fucking long shots in this. This is fucking painful.
That IT lady on LinkedIn and sent her a friend request. You know, just so she could see that you made it as an IT director. That was r/today I effed up, and if you like this content, check out my Patreon where I publish extra episodes. Also hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.
Kill confirmed.
With you, mate. Like, oh man, my turns take a minute, but this guy's turns have taken longer than me. God damn. Man's played like half his deck in a single turn and returned
Welcome
it
to
back into the
r/Ask
deck.
Reddit, where we answer the question, what stranger will you never forget? Our first reply is from Bad Panda. When I was a broke 18-year-old trying to make ends meet, I had a side hustle providing IT support for households, kind of like a Geek Squad sort of thing. In practice, I would mostly set up computers for elderly people to tech illiterate and teach them how to use them. Or I would get them out of technical binds and usually with printers by Googling on their behalf.
I ain't gonna lie,
This elderly Korean gentleman hired me to set up his new computer for him. I spent an hour setting it up and teaching him how to use it, and 2 more hours eating a wonderful lunch with the man and his wife. He wouldn't accept my invoice for just 1 hour of work. Instead, he paid 3 times my hourly rate for all 3 hours. Then, he asked me to come back and train him the next week. Over the course of about a month, I came back 4 times, worked with him, had a lovely meal, and he would tell me about his family and his kids. He was so proud of his daughter.
There's only a chance he has no
residency and become a pediatrician. By the end of the
Nah,
month,
this
he was
man
pretty
definitely
comfortable in the
knew what the fuck he
PC,
was
and I
doing,
thanked
no
him
doubt about
profusely
it.
for how kind he was and how ridiculously he'd
He
overpaid
wouldn't
me.
have played
He
that
told
many
me I
cards if
reminded
he
him
didn't know
of
what
his
the fuck he
son,
was
who
doing.
was estranged for some reason. I didn't press. And that he hoped that somewhere out there, somebody was being kind to his son and sharing a home-cooked meal with him. I don't know why, but more than 10 years later, I can't think about that guy without tearing up. I hope everything turned out well for him. Is anyone else getting strong viral vibes from this guy? Our next reply is from Turds for Nipples. This lady who told me that I looked great in blue and that it was clearly my color. To this day, if I'm deciding between shirts to buy or wear, I'll go with blue. That compliment was about 15 years ago at least. Man, it's true. If you want to make a guy's day, give him a compliment. I'm not exaggerating when I say that some guys go literal years without hearing a compliment. Our next reply is from Back to Buck. My lost wallet was returned in the mail. The anonymous stranger spent $9.75 postage to send it back at their own expense, with all my money, credit cards, driver's license, and other items intact. Nothing was missing. A note enclosed read, "Please do something kind for a stranger whenever you have the opportunity." And then beneath that, we have a similar story from Legal Action. I was walking past a local bar, and I found a phone case in the middle of the road around a corner about a block away. It was the kind that carries credit card, cash, the whole deal, and a new, for the time, iPhone. I took it home hoping I could figure out whose it was from the info inside. Turns out it was unlocked, so I found the most common contact and called that number. A dude answers and I say, "I just found this phone. Do you know the person who owns it?" He says,
the man was so happy that he played so many
cards. Nearest intersection, and he says, we'll be right there. 5 minutes later, the phone rings, and the guy says he's outside, so I head outside. He has a woman with him. I hand him the phone. He hands it to her. She looks at the wallet section and starts screaming, "You stole my money! Where's my money? Where's my credit cards?"
You see why I need to get
The dude just points at her credit cards. They're right there. Angie spent all your money in the bar. He didn't take anything. And then they started arguing about how exactly she managed to drop her phone in the middle of the road around the corner from the bar after spending all of her money. Talk about strangers you'll never forget. And then we had a similar story from John C137. I had a similar thing happen with a new iPhone I found in a little dog park across the road from my house. There was no lock code, so I tried ringing some numbers. There was no answer, so I texted the number to my boyfriend. 10 minutes later, I get a string of irate, threatening texts and phone calls from this girl and her boyfriend about me being a thief. Eventually, I got the confidence to actually read the message I sent to somebody that I found the phone she dropped. And if they just came back to the park at any time and raided the phone, I would come out and return the property. They then flipped out and started demanding I bring it to their house. So I took it back across the road to the park and left it exactly where I found it. Man, I don't get it. If some stranger has your iPhone, which is worth probably $1,000, why would you yell and cuss at them? Sounds like that lady got what she deserved. Our next reply from Florida man. I was driving down south with my girlfriend and we blew out our tires, so I had to put on the spare. The spare tire blows out while we're exiting the very next exit. So there we are, maybe 19 years old and at least 100 miles from anyone we know at a gas station in the middle of nowhere. I'm trying to figure out what to do next, and it probably looked like there was something wrong, so this older man offered to help. He drives me 20 or so minutes to a junkyard to get a cheap tire. Then he puts the tires on the rim with no more than a pry bar and some soapy water. He had a compressor on his truck, so he aired it up when I put it on. And then we just went on our way. Our next reply is from Acceptable Medicine. I took a train to New York City by myself for the first time. I was 18. It was my second time to New York City and my first time ever on a train. I told the kiosk lady that I'd never been on a train before and asked if she might give me a quick rundown on what to do. Another train station employee was nearby and was so interested in news that I was taking a train for the first time and was alone. He walked me through what to do, down to the smallest detail. No judgment, no meanness. He was just a guy with a silly disposition, delighting in a young person's naivete, breaking up the doldrums of his week. I aspire to be that way when people ask me for help. Thanks, Frank P. You were a peach. Our next reply is from Thaddeus Jones. I'll always remember the foreign exchange student and his parents who walked past my park bench on campus and dropped his passport. I chased after them to return his passport, and his mom started screaming at me in broken English like, "Why do you have his papers? Why do you steal his papers?" While the kid and his father looked like they were going to die from embarrassment. Well, I guess now we know that Karens exist in all cultures. Our next reply is from Fish and Chips.
I can't help for shit, bro.
Overweight, I was just starting to work out somewhat regularly. Being morbidly obese at the gym is terrible. I've never felt more eyes on me before in my life. I was on a treadmill doing some light jogging, and a super fit girl got on the machine next to me. This was all pre-COVID. She did a short workout.
Ah, fucking lovely.
She tried to give me a high five and told me to keep it up. It was so encouraging to have that support when I was used to getting stared at by everyone else in the gym. Her small, kind gesture went a long way. Our next reply is from CDC. I was drunk on my front porch one night. Me and a couple
yeah, you decoy.
I lived in a rough neighborhood at the time. There were a lot of homeless people, but most of them were just decent people down on their luck. Anyway, I see this homeless guy walking by my house and I holler out to him, "Yo, man, you want a beer?" And he's like, "Man, hell yeah, thank you."
Angle, do your work, bruh.
I give him a beer and an extra one for the road. He starts going on about how he misses his son and how he never gets to see him anymore. We all just sit there and listen to him. He starts crying and says that he bought his kid a bag of brand new Hank socks and his mom wouldn't let him have them. Now, I don't know what he did to deserve that treatment. Maybe he's a total son of a gun and deserves to be where he is. Maybe not, I have no idea. But what I do know is, whatever his past, he was having a very human moment at the time, and he was super thankful. Not just for the beer, but that me and my friends were listening and talking with him, just letting him vent. Then he tried to give me the pack of socks that he bought for his kid, which I vehemently refused. I was like, man, you keep him. Your feet might get cold out there.
Hagel, you didn't help him, man?
I mean, he refused to keep them. He flat out insisted that I take them. Eventually, it became obvious he wasn't going to take no for an answer, and he wore me down and I accepted them.
Yeah, you're supposed to help a person, not let a person die.
And the party vibe was completely gone. We all just went inside and crashed.
You didn't help me either.
We have a similar story from Lizzie Yost. About a year ago, I fell off the wagon and was back to drinking heavily every night. In July, some random dude from the apartment complex was walking by. I offered him some beer and smokes to keep me company since it was late outside. He told me about his current life issues and how alone and unsupported he felt. We talked for hours. In November, I had to find him again, and he's dressed much nicer and has a bounce in his step. He explained that talking to me that night really helped me get himself into gear. He gave my drunken ass a look and said, if I can do it, you can. You're never alone. I'm now nearly 2 months sober again with zero interest in picking up a bottle. I've officially started therapy.
Mentality
I
when
have
you get
clear
to that
manageable goals laid out to help me move forward. If he can do it, I can.
Unfortunately, I know it's impossible from the way I was watching y'all, so you know.
I really loved her, but I realized we were incompatible and we had to break up. So I downed a handle of vodka by myself in my dorm. I was super drunk, but still feeling awful, so I decided to head to the bars and drink some more. I actually don't remember if I made it there or not, but I remember getting off the drunk from having come from the bars and was too wasted to continue the relatively short walk to my dorm. I decided to just lay down where I was, which was quite literally the gutter next to my railing. Luckily it was an empty gutter, but a gutter nonetheless. This absolute bro comes by and sees me laying in the gutter and helps me up. He helps me walk back to my dorm, and on the way there he asked me what's wrong. I explained the situation. I don't remember much of anything of the conversation, but I do remember him saying something to the effect of, bro, your problems aren't going to be so...
You could go to Grainger.com to find what you need to get the job done. Grainger, supplies and solutions for every industry.
Solved at the bottom of a bottle. Our next reply is from Dula Peep. I was on a solo trip to Amsterdam last year, partying up as one does. I was at a bar having a few drinks, and a gorgeous British woman a seat or two over from me grabs my arm. I am a very good-looking man, by the way, and starts going on and on about how good it is to see me. I got the hint and noticed another guy bothering her and her friend.
What do you want?
Him as their long-lost BFF until he left.
Stop
Spending the
playing.
rest of the night bar crawling and getting trashed together, having the best time. I'll never forget you, B. Our next reply is from Honest Going. I volunteered at a suicide hotline. Some guy, Bob, called in and we started talking about
A shipment.
It was nothing absolutely horrendous, but he felt trapped and stressed and felt like he didn't have options. When people use language like that, our training says we should ask if they're thinking of suicide. Many volunteers have trouble with this. But if you mention suicide to someone who's not suicidal, it doesn't make them more suicidal. They just correct you and say, no, I feel more like such and such. So I asked Bob, you're using a lot of language that people use when they're thinking about suicide. Are you thinking about suicide? There was a pause, and then a loud wail. I could hear so much pain in his voice. I listened and cried for at least 5 minutes. I've talked to people who had suicidal ideation before. People who said it would be better if I were dead, but they didn't have a plan. Bob said yes, he was considering suicide, and we talked about it a bit more. While he was crying, that was the most concerned I've ever been for a human being outside of my family. This wasn't just how I felt like he was working in his mind about it, which was so scary. I only know what he told me. I know he was in a car park somewhere. I know there were photos of each other and made some plans for him. Plans are important because it gives you a sense that if you have something to do, to plan for, you can't commit suicide. Anyway, he truly was a stranger. I don't know his real name or what it looks like. I just know his story.
Doesn't have to also spend like a bunch of money on a new apartment, so you know.
And whenever I meet someone with that same accent, I hope he's okay. Whenever I include a story like this,
I spent a lot of money on ballistic hands. Yeah, I spent a lot of money on ballistic hands.
So Shay, do you know what sucks? Apparently you have to
Most people are insane, but I promise it wraps back around to Dog Loving My Neighbor. First,
yeah. Trust me, I like both of them too. You either be a female for what's your fucking. You need to be male for Pan Am and then female for what's your name again? I forgot your name.
Share a language with the person, but what they're saying is mankind has been judged, and we find mankind wanting, therefore mankind deserves destruction. The aliens, telling this guy that they're going to destroy mankind, and then they show like another montage of this guy, his wife, and how he like loves his wife. The message then becomes because this guy loves his wife, and even though mankind like does all these awful things, they still love each other, and the love redeems mankind. And when I first saw that picture, I was like, I don't know, 12 or something, and it bothered me so much, and I couldn't figure out why. And I thought about that for years to get my ear. I thought about this, and I finally figured out why that movie is wrong, why it bothered me so much. And I'm sharing it with my crazy dog. So you have to imagine, if you have a society capable of like interstellar travel and you can fly to any planet,
I don't know, sir.
So if aliens came to Earth, they wouldn't care that we had gold, because if they really wanted gold, they would probably just fly to some planet that's unoccupied and has tons of gold and just mine that gold. If Earth had something valuable, it would have to be something unique. And what's unique about Earth? There's really only two things. One are biological entities, so like plants and animals. Two is our culture, the things that we create, like art and music. Now, first we have to ask ourselves, would aliens care about our art and music? Probably not. Why do I think that? Well, just look at a cat.
Wow, guys,
What does a cat find interesting? If you give a cat just like a ball of yarn or a laser pointer, it goes absolutely nuts. But humans just completely don't care about that kind of stuff.
Explain to me, Engel, how did that guy live?
So you would imagine like cat type of like arts and culture that they would find really interesting would be laser pointers and giant museums full of yarn. Cats are like really similar to humans because we're both mammals, we're born on Earth, our DNA is pretty similar, and cats and humans are already that far apart in what they find appealing. And we can't possibly expect aliens when they come to Earth to look at a soccer game or to look at the Mona Lisa and be impressed by it. They're just going to be like, I don't get it. I'd rather look at like laser pointers because I'm an alien and my brain works so differently that I can't even relate to this. The next option is some sort of like biological thing on Earth that we really care about. For example, did you ever read Animorphs when you were a kid? It was about aliens that came to Earth and they could turn into like all these different animals. But one of the things I found really interesting was that one of the aliens was really into cinnamon buns. And they were talking about how there weren't cinnamon buns or that flavor of cinnamon buns anywhere else in the galaxy. So this alien really enjoyed cinnamon as like this grand contributor to what Earth added to the universe. Now that's possible. It's very possible that aliens come to be like, oh my god, you guys have hot peppers. And hot peppers anywhere else
why did you move?
That flavor doesn't exist. We love hot peppers, so we will not move the planet Earth into oblivion because we want to buy hot peppers from you. That's a possibility. But get this, my personal theory is that I think that if aliens ever visit us, the thing that they will actually care about, or let's rephrase, the thing that they are most likely to care about is dogs. So you have to imagine what an alien society has to be like in order to make it to Earth. One thing that we know for certain is that they would almost necessarily have to be a communal society. They would have to work well with other people because you can't expect one living organism to be born and then before it dies build a rocket ship and fly to Earth. That's just not going to happen. They have to work together as a society. Therefore, we expect aliens to be highly collaborative and to like other people and to like form bonds with them. That's a reasonable expectation. Also, it's fairly reasonable to assume that aliens wherever they are, will probably enjoy pets. Because exploiting animal labor is a very important part in a smart, intelligent species evolving to the next step of society. Domesticated animals are basically free labor at a time when technology levels are super low. So it stands to reason that other alien species would have also domesticated animals in order to, like, reach the next level of society. So, if an alien comes to Earth, it's likely that they will be, one, highly social and cooperative, and two, they probably would have used pets at some point in their
I paid them straight off.
through technology. So they come to Earth and dogs are like highly customized.
Like, no, I literally, at the beginning of the game, I paid them off.
They can be huge, like this big stuff, totally practically, and they absolutely love, adore anyone. It doesn't matter who or what you are. They'll make friends with lizards, cats, humans. I saw videos of dogs being buddies with cheetahs. I mean, it doesn't matter. So the other Earth and like give them a puppy. The puppy will just instantaneously love this alien idea of like, hey, let's be buddies, we're best friends forever. And I think that there is a chance that like
I'll be back. I need to go to the bathroom.
Is Tuesday tomorrow?
Yeah, it's Monday right now.
Okay, I was about to say, what?
Hello, Johnny. Hello. Oh. No. Yeah, no. It's not
Damn,
that.
I must have to start playing a bunch of 200 games, I guess. Yeah, see, I kind of want that.
Fuck you go, Johnny.
I'm a horny boy.
Bye, Johnny.
Plus, I watch anime, so obviously.
Let's walk into the burning.
Alright, now I can do some more loud shots.
Doing the thing every day.
I got T-boned. My bike went under the car. I was thrown up, smashed the windshield out with my back, was flipped over the car, and landed a perfect no-hop landing on my feet like a gymnast, minus the arms raised flourish at the end. The entire accident was witnessed by a firefighter who was watching out the window, literally standing right next to his emergency radio and called for an ambulance. The lady who hit me got out of her car yelling, I'm a nurse, lie down. I had no breaks or fractures, just a bruised rib cage. OP, it's like if the lady who hit you was a nurse and she could help you out. But it occurs to me that if the driver was an evil person, it would be a really clever trick. I'm so sorry, I'm a nurse, just lie down and I'll help you. And then as soon as you lie down, she just like caves your head in with a tire iron or something and makes a clean, no witness getaway. Our next reply was stuck in the elevator. I was going to move to a different apartment complex last month, but I got injured at work and lost hours. Therefore, I couldn't come up with the deposit money in time. Last week, some douchebag was cooking meth and caught the building on fire. Also, you could say I dodged 2 bullets. One, the fire. 2, I know bad stuff happens everywhere.
Not a claymore, but a landmine. You know, someone did come in though. Oh shit, we're surrounded, bid.
I can't help but notice your username stuck in the elevator. If you had gotten stuck in an elevator during a fire, then that might have been the end of OP. Our next reply is from TM Downton. In 1992, I was 16 years old. A bunch of us were about to leave a party and I called shotgun. But my friend Pat kind of wrestled me out of the spot and I wound up jumping in another car since the first car was now full. The other driver and I watched as our friend's car skidded into oncoming traffic. Pat was airlifted to the local trauma hospital where his dad told a huge group of us teenagers that Pat had succumbed to his injuries. Maybe that's not exactly a bullet dodged, but... And then OP posted an update clarifying what happened. Pat's driver and my driver were racing each other. The road had just been paved and the shoulder was loose gravel. So when Pat's driver applied their brakes when the passenger side of the car was over the line on the right side of the number 2 lane, the passenger tires kept spinning while the driver's side locked up, spinning the car into oncoming traffic. The oncoming driver was hospitalized and recovered. Pat's driver broke a femur, was convicted of vehicular manslaughter, sentenced to home detention, but was late to get home from high school one day, which stripped the ankle monitor, and the driver did 30 days in jail. The 3 kids in the back of the car had to be extracted by the jaws of life. They broke some bones and got an insurance settlement. However, I don't think I would have died if I got shotgun.
I'll be right back.
We would have left 15 seconds earlier and he wouldn't have hit that oncoming pickup. Or maybe we would have. And then beneath that we have a similar story from NZ. I was going out with my mom and sister when I was in about middle school. I always sat in the passenger side backseat if it was more people than me and the driver. My sister decided at the last second that she wanted to stay home. And we got T-boned on the way home in a hit and run. The other car totaled our car, with all the damage on the back passenger seat, where I should have been sitting. I still think about that often. Our next reply is from, well, yeah. When my great aunt passed away, I was helping clean out her house. I'm just dragging everything out of the basement, and suddenly my dad is like, whoa, put that down gently,
No.
and let's move away from here. So I put the weird metal tube type thing that I'm carrying down and get out of there. Turns out it's a mortar shell from when my aunt worked in a munitions factory in World War II. The bomb squad came and took it away.
But I'll let it, so I'll take out the trophy system and put a fucking ammunitions box.
A high explosive device into her purse and just walk out of work. What was she planning to do with it? Throw it over her neighbor's fence to get the neighbor's dog to stop yapping all the time? Our next reply is from Thaddeus Jones.
Yeah, I'm just jacking into a fucking strip club in my head, so you know.
One of the big robotic liquid handlers. He decided to bypass the safety pin that prevents the head from moving while the cover is open.
I was like,
While he had a diagnostic program,
are you doing on the mic?
Computer.
And then I was like, oh, you're doing that. Yeah, it's a very expensive
instructions and start moving. And he had a hand inside it right in the danger zone. I grabbed his shoulder and yanked his hand out an instant before it was crushed. He stopped ignoring me when I told him to stop bypassing safety lockouts to save a few minutes. Smart move, OP. I'd rather save a few fingers than save a few minutes. Our next reply from Machanto. I stayed up all night before day trip to Hong Kong. You know that days when you
No, you're fine. I could respawn there.
robotic and doing human stuff,
Shut up,
but with
Rod.
really zero awareness of anything? Well, I went across the street, and my friend behind me snapped my
Johnny
shoulder
a lot,
and
though.
yanked me
He's fucking
backwards
hilarious.
just in time to feel the whoosh of a double-decker bus breezing past us. I looked at him like, oh, thanks, man. And it took a whole extra minute for my brain to process I would be freaking dead if he had not grabbed me. Our next Reddit post is from Mission Impossible. We were young and we met on a dating site. He went to my high school, but graduated a few years before me. The first month or so was okay. Then he changed. We had a huge fight one time because he said something silly. I don't even remember what it was, but I playfully threw a pillow at him. He immediately flipped out,
I can put
punched
this
a
down now.
hole in my door, and told me he'd make it so I would never have anything to come back to. Another time, he
I did
finally
not
got a
want to pick
job.
up your weapon.
He didn't have one when I met him, and I was paying for everything. After job searching for months, he got
There's
one.
no
It's his
way.
first few days at his new job, and all
Yo,
of a sudden,
right now,
he doesn't
guys,
want to go in.
there's a
No
special
reason. He just
exchange
doesn't
thing
feel
where you
like
can
it.
get
I tell him he
any
better
of
get to that
the
freaking job or he's gonna lose it. After
the,
a lot of
familiars
arguing, the car so I can drive to work. As I'm driving, it gets more heated, and he starts strangling me while I'm at
Ow.
the red light was right next to a gas station, and I
There's a
pulled
thing
him while
going
his
on in
hands
Bleach where you
were
can
around
get
my
any of the
throat.
fucking
I managed to get him
familiars
off me and
right
get out of the
now,
car
any
and
of
scream, "What the
Finally,
heck?"
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry, I
Shit,
blacked
I
out.
misclicked.
You just pissed me off
Fuck
so
my
much.
life.
I told you I didn't want to go to work. The relationship lasted less than a year. He cheated on me with some girl, and for the first and only time in my life, I was glad someone was cheating on me.
At least you killed him. Right? Oh, teammate killed him.
I felt really bad for that thought. He had handcuffed his then girlfriend, who had just had his baby, to the bed and strangled her to death. He thought she had cheated on him. He then dismembered her body and lived with it for a month in their apartment. Eventually, the smell tipped some people off, along with his girlfriend not being seen by family in a while. The baby was okay, though, and was taken in by the girl's family. He went on the run, but was later caught and is currently in prison. From here, OP clarifies that you can't post the actual news article because that breaks Reddit's rule about posting personal information. But beneath that, a couple of people are guessing the state to the exact case where this happened, and it's pretty much verified. Our next reply is from KK Bluff. I went to end my life by putting a plastic bag over my head and tying it off. I figured that it would be less messy if I was found this way. But my cat started to go crazy on the other side of the door when I started to get lightheaded and feel sort of nauseous. I thought, oh, right, you need your dinner and no one else will feed you. And I untied the bag to feed the cat. After the fact, I realized my cat literally saved me from one of my lowest points. God, I miss that cat. I still can't believe I came that close. OP, I'm glad to hear that you got past that dark moment and your life is turning around.
There's some basic old exploring, a little bit of stuff with the VIP.
Seriously, is that 13%? Like, give me a break.
And to everyone else, I'm going to share the most important fact that I know about suicide. The overwhelming majority of people who have a failed suicide attempt never attempt suicide again. So that means that they regret it. That if you ever get so depressed that you're thinking about ending your life, then statistics show that if you just get past that one day, then you'll probably make it. Our next pleasure
Dude, that's very possible. I've been able to do that kind of thing.
And my life was equally sucky for a whole multitude of reasons, and it was rubbing off on me. I spent what felt like half an hour crying on the floor and working up the nerve to pull the trigger. Then, when I finally did, the safety was on. I sold my gun the next morning. Our next reply is from Ray. My mother left me in one state and went back to my abusive stepfather. She tried to get me to drop out of my senior year of high school, move back to their state and get my GED. They wanted to listen to me.
Bro, they were being a fucking cunt single.
So I decided to attack him and immediately got into it.
I'm doing great. I've got no contact with my mother and stepfather. They're still together, and it's been one of the most healthy decisions I've ever made.
I never did this.
My husband and my kids are amazing, and she's missing out big time.
My friend did this part.
My grandparents are alive and well, and still involved in our lives. And then I'm going to read this reply from Purple.
I remember a premonition where I got killed by the microphone and I realized she always had a microphone on her.
But a girl I knew had a few drinks.
See, I didn't
hitchhike home to a town about 40 minutes away from the one she was drinking in. No, it's very common for people to hitchhike in this area.
I was just like, fuck, I don't know if to take the inhaler or attack.
Everything seems fine until she points out that they can drop her off just ahead, and they keep driving. She had that instant sober feeling. She plays it off like she's clueless and totally down to keep hanging out with them, acting like she's very fun. Meanwhile, they drive into a more forested area of the highway. Then she dry heaves and says she's about to puke, really putting on a show, so they stop to let her out.
They would have been able to enjoy the way you had to choose between Kate
and then OP relays another scary story from her mom. My mom, who was in her early 20s, was out with a group of friends drinking one night, and one girl wanted to hitchhike, the others didn't. She got picked up, never to be seen again, not even her body found. Don't drink and hitchhike, people. And beneath that, Sharon offers some useful advice. When I was in high school, we had a cop come talk to us about what to go for in a car with
I was waiting for it to come. I was like, man, I cannot wait to see that bitch.
And say you desperately have to puke.
I get scared the shit out of them.
More often than not, the driver will care more about their car getting sold than whatever they want to do to you, and they'll let you out. I've also heard that in truly desperate situations, one of the best things you can do is
hello.
That's because a lot of times
Sniper.
don't buckle their seatbelts. So then all you have to do is buckle up and either try to turn their wheel into a tree or gouge their eyes while they're driving. I mean, obviously this is a super dangerous solution, but getting into a car wreck is way safer than letting your abductor take you to a remote location. Also, car wrecks have the advantage of getting a lot of attention, so it's very likely that someone will stop and help you. Our next reply is from the effing Quantox. My girlfriend and I were going to see Cats the movie. Our Uber pulls up, and straight away we notice something about the driver. To this day, we can't articulate what it was other than to say that he just felt off. We got into his car, already hesitant and a touch anxious. He looks at us in the rearview mirror and makes a comment like, "Two lovely ladies in my car tonight," or some other weird thing. A few minutes in, he makes another semi-sexual innuendo comment about riding with him. My friend notices the handle of a knife just poking out of the side of his jacket. She says, "Hey, can we stop at 7-Eleven? We need to grab a Gatorade real quick." So we go in and refuse to come back out. We're considering whether to call the police or not. It was so creepy, but what would we say? Some dude was creepy to us? And while we're hesitating, he winds down his window, brandishes this effing hunting knife at both of us, screams something about devil women, and just tears it out of the parking lot. To this day, my girlfriend and I are so thankful that we got out of that Uber. Otherwise, we would have made it to the movies in time and we would have seen Cats. OP, you totally got me with that curve.
What?
I was not expecting that. Our next reply is from Seeing Red.
You watched the one side, I watched the other. Okay.
Chicago, and I heard a loud bang followed by a woman screaming. Someone dropped a full 2-liter bottle of soda from the 13th floor, and it just missed me. It was essentially a giant bullet at that heightened speed. The woman screaming was about 5 feet behind me. She was the second closest to being hit. I'm pretty sure that bottle would have killed me if it hit me. In response to that post, people actually did the math to determine how lethal that bottle of soda was. Apparently, an object needs 150 joules of energy to have a 90% chance of being lethal. That soda bottle, by the time it hit the ground, had
it's not domination.
930 joules of energy. So roughly 6 times 150,
where?
Which means that soda bottle would
Somewhere
have
left
been
side.
certain death. Our next reply is from Mohavian. About 10 years ago, I was in a relationship with someone and she became pregnant. We were only a few months in, and I was terrified. But I did the right thing. Pregnancy turned my whole life.
This guy's named Puss Puss.
To move to the other end of the city where her daughter went to school. She was divorced and had a kid with her ex-husband.
Enemy UAV active. Cold-blooded activated.
I don't know. Oh, I got fucking killed by a... Oh.
University specializes in helping you put a master's degree in business into your busy day. Your graduation team, led by your own GCU counselor, provides you with the personal support you need to succeed. Find your purpose. Visit gcu.edu.
Everything was going great until she became pregnant. We were having a lot of fun and enjoyed each other's company very much. The instant she became pregnant, it was like a switch had been flipped. She became a straight-up psycho. It wasn't just hormones from pregnancy. This was a whole other level.
What I think we should all get again?
Psychologically and verbally abusive. She took being unreasonable and belligerent to a whole new level. I asked when she went out for dinner. You should know what I want for dinner. You're supposed to just make it. And then it turned into an hour-long fight about how the heck I'm supposed to know what she wants for dinner. Apparently, I wasn't in tune with her enough to know that was an unforgivable error. This is one of the hundreds of little things she did to make me feel like a piece of garbage. She never missed a chance to take a shot at me. Missed my turn while driving somewhere and have to turn around? I'm the most embarrassing boyfriend she's ever had. And she can't even believe that she allows me to drive anymore. Stuff like that. All day, every day. It was demoralizing, and I was broken for years because of her abuse. Anyway, we moved into the new house, and within a month, she leaves me. So, all this stuff I did to turn my life upside down. I sold my house and bought a new one, which cost a lot of money in real estate fees and moving fees. And it was a more expensive home. Worse than that, I now had to deal with this frickin' psycho for the next 18 years because she was carrying my baby. On top of all this, she had been cheating on me and was with her ex-boyfriend now.
Dude,
but that's who she was
should not
moving
be
in
taking
with.
this long to copy.
I was
You're
gonna
only
be a
at
dad,
20%.
which was cool, I guess. I wish it was under different circumstances, but not having to see her
man,
everything
I
was
really
gonna
just
be
tried to hop
nice.
on Elder
About a
Scrolls
week
to get
before she
shut
gave
down.
birth, I ask if it's okay if I'm there when the child is born. She says, "I really want my other boyfriend to be there."
Dude, I
I'm
literally
okay
was
with
just
that
trying to
if he
hop on
is.
Elder Scrolls
I gotta
Online
tell
just
you
to
something.
fuck around,
There's
see
a
what was
chance
happening.
it's not your
And
baby.
immediately just
And
got
after
shut
fighting
down
with
right
her
up
for
there.
3 months to get the baby's blood type, it was
Fucking-
conclusive whose baby it was. So we went to get a DNA test, which she fought against me about, and finally caved after I laid out in text everything that she'd done to me. And now she was leaving this question of whether or not I
Yeah,
had a
he's
child
fucking using
unanswered.
her actually,
It
bro.
wasn't my baby. Bullet dodge. This was an enormous relief. Having to deal with her for 18 years while we co-raised a child would have been a nightmare. I had witnessed how she handled literally every communication with her ex-husband. Not the same guy that she cheated on me with and moved in with. She was a frickin' grunt to him. It didn't matter what it was about. She
because they're bad players, they're a girl?
This is why I always advocate that parents get a DNA test whenever they have a baby. Not just because people cheat, but also because
you hear that, guys? He says all
babies
girls
all
are
the
bad.
time. You could be in a committed monogamous relationship and the hospital still give you the wrong baby. DNA kits are as cheap as like $30 nowadays, so why not do it? Our next reply is from the trailer park. At 17 years old, I met and married a sweet little North Carolina daddy's girl. Had I not, I would have been hanging out with my friends that just discovered heroin. Of the 3 friends, 2 are dead and 1 did.
Yeah, she's 6 and 7 and stuff, but she's not. Yeah, I don't think she's bad. Look at mine.
Because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.
I got 2. Oh wait, she's 6. Well, she got 6 kills. I only got 2.
Welcome to r/house Reddit, where we answer the question, what was yours? Screw it, I'm done helping others moment. Our first reply is from Bad Panda. I had a friend years ago who was a bit self-centered and prone to stretching the truth. But he was a nice enough guy with a rough backstory, and my friend group liked him, so I cut him a lot of slack. I like to host, and I have friends staying over pretty regularly. Back then, I usually had 1 or 2 people spending the night on any given day. Anyhow, over the span of a couple of years, this guy starts abusing that, staying over for days or even weeks at a time, eating my food and drinking my liquor without contributing, that sort of thing, while constantly talking about his grand plans and daydreams as if they'd already happened.
Alright, I'm just fucking go with a fucking rocket launcher because fucking I can't do this shit.
One day and let him know he's gotta hit home, and then he's free to come over and hang out, but I'm not comfortable with him staying over for the time being. He leaves. I think it went remarkably well and I head out to work. As it turns out, he broke into my house while I was away at work and stole a bunch of my sister's things because my birthday was coming up and neither of us even thought to get me a gift. It takes a special person to rationalize how burglarizing someone isn't really their fault. Anyway, all slack and sympathy went out the window immediately. I called the cop and he's dead to me. And what's even weirder about this is that this guy's justification doesn't even make any sense. If his birthday is coming up, then wouldn't it make sense for him to wait for the birthday to expect a gift?
Yeah.
Typically, people don't give people their birthday gifts before their birthday. Our next reply is from Big Bad Smelly. When a good friend of mine that I worked under had cancer and wasn't able to pay some bills, I loaned her $200 just to help.
You can literally like go on the internet
and felt bad because she had kids.
and like search
It
up
was right around the
stuff or
holidays,
watch
and I
YouTube
just wanted to help however I could
while
and be a
playing
good
video
person in
games.
life.
Like you can
She
literally
promised to pay me back
minimize
when she
it and
could.
put it in the corner
It
of
turns
your
out she lied about having cancer, was stealing from the company I worked at, scammed my other coworkers, and would come in after calling out of work for a chemo to make fraudulent returns while I was overseeing the store myself because of her calling out. I got that jerk fired and got promoted to her position after that. It turns out she didn't have cancer. It turns out she was the cancer. Our next
I'm gonna
reply is
stop
from Byron
broadcasting
AC.
because
I had a
holy shit.
Jewish neighbor ask if you could borrow our lawnmower.